Auto Trader Tailgate Week.
This is ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV as part of Auto Trader Tailgate Week. And it is homecoming today at ECU as Steve the Pirate brings out the ECU Pirates as they play host to the USF Bulls today from Dowdy Ficklen Stadium. Should be an awesome atmosphere here today. We welcome you to Greenville, North Carolina. Good to have you with us, everyone. Mike, Corey, and Rini and Goliath. A big game here today, really, for the ECU Pirates, trying to go to 4-4 on the season.
Yeah, first-year coach Mike Houston really has the program going in the right direction. As you said, trying to get to 500, keep those bowl aspirations alive. Last week at UCF, they lost, but boy, this team in the second half really turned it around in all three phases: special teams, defense, and offense. They got block kicks coming out of the locker room. They got 3 and outs. They got takeaways. And then on offense, they sustained drives and scored points. So really the key for ECU today is, can they carry over that momentum from the second half last week to the start of this game today?
Well, it's a similar situation for USF today as well. If they get a win, they'll also be 4-4 on the season. But boy, they have struggled mightily since the second half of last year. What's going on with them?
And it's crazy when you think about it. They started the season last year 7-0. You know, Charlie Strong started his tenure at USF 17-2. Since that, 3-10. A lot of injuries, a lot of things have been happening. Had to play young players. You know, this is a game today. They got to get going, get that running game going early with Cronkite.
2 players to keep an eye on today: Mitchell Wilcox, the highly rated tight end, the record holder for USF, and Kendall Futrell, one of the top sack leaders in the nation for ECU.
Yeah, 2 great ones. Wilcox, that tight end that can run, speed, good routes. He's a matchup nightmare for smaller defensive backs. And Futrell, he's a speed rushing defensive end, about 230 pounds. Look for USF to line up a back to his side. A lot of chipping to try to slow down Kendall Futrell.
USF won the toss. They have deferred, so ECU will receive the start of the game here today. And it's going to be Tyler Snead on the return for the Pirates. It's across the 30, cutting it back. Tyler Snead inside the 30, heading to the house. He's got it. Touchdown. Opening kickoff for 6. Seconds ready for that.
Well, when we talk to the coaches about this young man, Tyler Snead, the quote I wrote down is baller. That's what they said. Smaller kid, 5'7", 170 pounds. Redshirt freshman, boy. Explosive start to this game.
That's one way to start off homecoming, right? Jake Verity for the extra point. And it's good. 7-0 ECU. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, we talked about it in the open, right? A few seconds ago. Special teams last week. They got a blocked kick here. Great job fielding and good blocking by this return team. And, you know, Snead just hits it. As a guy that's returned kicks before, very important to get it up into that blocking. No dancing around. Snead didn't do that and just had enough speed at the end to withstand the hit and get it over the goal line for the touchdown. I think it'll officially go down as a 100-yard touchdown return. Mike Hampton from USF tried to prevent the touchdown, couldn't do it, and boy, what a start for the Pirates.
First kickoff return for a touchdown in 94 games for ECU, and Tyler Snead gets us started in a big way here today.
You know, and Mike Houston and Donnie Kirkpatrick, the offensive coordinator, said, we want to start with the ball every time. We're an offensive team. We want to start with the ball. Well, your offense didn't get the ball, but you got 7. Special teams. Huge part of the game.
We saw the streak for scoring there for ECU, 10th longest in FBS, putting points on the board. Have not been shut out in a long time. And now USF going to start in a 7-0 hole just 15 seconds in from their own 25-yard line. There was a flag down on the field. Charles Lambertina is our referee here today. This American Athletic Conference matchup. There's the call. We'll discuss it some more.
Talk a little more.
Yeah. Made the motion like he was going to tell us what's happening.
And he's talking to Coach Mike Houston, which would tell me the flag's on USF. We'll see what we got here as they sort it out. And he's going to decline it. I can see the motion of his hands.
Kick, holding, receiving team number 10. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchback. First down, USF at the 25.
All right, so USF. And Jordan McLeod is the starting quarterback, number 12, when he comes out, the redshirt freshman. And it's been tough sledding at the quarterback position. I mean, he's not 100% healthy as well. He's been dealing with some injuries this year.
And, of course, Blake Barnett, the starter, is out. And McLeod, as you said, Mike, he's been hampered with a shoulder injury. Then his wrist got hurt, and then it went from his wrist to his hand. So he's had a problem gripping the football. So he's had no velocity, no zip on that release. Said he feels good. I talked to him yesterday. It's the best he's felt in a long time, so look for the ball to get out of his hand a little quicker today.
Jordan Cronkright is the running back to his right. 1st and 10 for USF. First play is a play fake. McLeod eluding pressure. And throws it on the run. A one-handed grab made. What a reception by Cronkright. And it's a first down for the Bulls.
And give Jordan McLeod all the credit on this play. This is called keeping a play alive. I mean, he extends this play. It's a rollout to the right. He's going back to the left side. He's going to run it, and he keeps his head up, finds Cronkright, dumps it off, and a nice one-handed catch by the running back for the first down.
And now it's give to Cronkright for just a couple off to the left side, brought down by Chance Purvis. So you mentioned Blake Barnett. Had season-ending ankle surgery. There he is with his son Brooks. And back home, the guy's been all over the place, but his season's over.
And he's a fifth-year senior, a lot of experience, former 5-star high school prospect. And, you know, who knows if he's going to try to get a waiver from the NCAA to play again. You never know, but right now his season is over.
Played at Arizona State, Alabama, now at USF. McLeod to the outside, catch made by Randall St. Felix. And that is good for another Bulls first down to the ECU 45.
And right there shows me that Jordan McLeod is healthier because the ball came out of his hand nicely. Good spiral on the ball, zipping it. Looks good.
You and I met with him yesterday.
Yep.
He said he was feeling a lot better. Kelly Joyner Jr. is now in the backfield. And it is a give to him. And not much, just 1 yard. Gerard Stringer on the tackle for ECU.
And talking to the coaches about Joyner, number 10 for USF. He's a speedster, a true freshman. Only about 175 pounds, needs to get bigger. But, boy, they want to get him the ball in space. They think he can make people miss, and going to him early in this one.
Now they're going to spread him out. 5 wide. Jacob Mathis, tight end, is lined up in the slot to the bottom of the screen. 2nd and 9 for USF. McLeod, and he goes his direction. He makes the catch. Going to be a couple yards shy of the first down. 9th reception of the season from Mathis. They got a pair of pretty good tight ends. I mean, Mathis, of course, we just talked about Mitchell Wilcox, who's actually rated 6th best by Mel Kiper.
And Wilcox has really been the leading receiver for this team. And Charlie Strong challenged his wide receivers this week to step up and make plays.
3rd and short for USF. Cronkright, and he's got the first down. Good job by USF here. You know, you give up the 100-yard touchdown to start the game on the kickoff, and then they have just put consecutive first downs together on a very good-looking first drive of this game for them.
And that's what you need to do, right? You need to answer the kickoff return, calm everybody down, take your time, and it really is a nice drive they have going here.
7th play of the drive. And now McLeod, and the miscommunication as he thought his receiver was going to head down to the end zone, and it's well overthrown. It was Xavier Weaver who was on that outside route there, and he stopped.
Yeah, another true freshman out of Orlando, Florida. That little mix-up on the route, and that happens, right? Young players playing a lot of young kids out there, and a little mix-up, but goes incomplete. Live for another down here.
What did coaching staff tell us this week is that they need to make plays. They just got to make a play, whether it's on offense or defense. They just haven't done that, and that's been a reason for the struggles. McLeod on a keeper. Hole opens up. A flag is thrown. And he's inside the 20-yard line for what would be an apparent first down, with a flag thrown back at the 35-yard line. And we'll see if this comes back.
Holding, offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
And Demetrius Harris gets called for at the left guard.
And it was a great play call. It was a counter, quarterback counter. You had Harris pull to make a block. He'd get called for the hold. Wilcox came, 89. He's going to throw a great block as well. Great looking play. You just can't hold. And Lamartine right there. And you lose your footing. You grab the guy a little bit. Just don't grab him. And you're okay because you're already shielded. Your body's in front of him. Your quarterback McLeod's going to get through there. But it was a nice play design. Just can't hold.
So that backs him up. 2nd down and 20, and McLeod, he thought about trying to sling it out, but he cannot. It takes off, and he's going to get the penalty yardage back and more. And down to the 26. That's going to be a 17-yard run by the quarterback. Devontae Robinson finally brings him down.
And that's just a broken play. They tried to go wide receiver screen. It was covered nicely by East Carolina, and McLeod just making plays on his feet. Now, from breaking down film on him last week against Navy, there's no doubt he wasn't feeling it because he was sliding a lot. He wasn't as athletic as we know he can be. Obviously feels much better today, making a lot of plays with his feet, which is a great sign for Charlie Strong and his team.
Another 3rd down here on this opening drive for USF after giving up the 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. 3rd and 3. Timeout.
USF takes their first charge timeout of the half. Timeout on the field.
And we'll take it with them. 3rd down and 3 for USF when we return. You're watching the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. Coming to you today from Greenville, North Carolina. Homecoming at ECU. The Pirates lead USF 7-0. But it's a 3rd down and 3 for the Bulls from the Pirates 26. Conkright, first down, USF, and he's going to set up a 1st and goal from the 5. Taken down by Jalen Price. What a run by the former Florida Gator.
A little inside zone, great blocking up front by that offensive line, who has been playing really well of late. And Jordan Conkright, he's really an ECU killer. Had 129 and a touchdown against them last year. So doesn't know what it is about the purple, just runs well. Nice run there.
1st and goal. Conkright, and he's got it. Touchdown, USF. And they respond, taking it 75 yards for the score. Flag is down, multiple flags after the touchdown. Third rushing touchdown of the season for Conkright.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 73. That 15-yard penalty will be forced on the kickoff. That is number 73's first unsportsmanlike foul of the game.
So the left tackle, Donovan Jennings, got a little fired up.
Big man, a little excited. It's got to calm down. Did a nice job. That left side has been excellent for USF of late. Just a good power run. Give it to Cronkite. You know, talking to Kerwin Bell, the offensive coordinator, he said he's been really happy with the left side. Jennings, Harris in the center, Cecil, all sophomores. Nice job there.
Spencer Schrader with the extra point for USF, and we are tied at 7.
But we like it. This is going to be a good one. 7-7, 10 plays, 75 yards, and USF answers the sneak kickoff return. 7-7 in Greenville.
ESPN College Football is presented by Sling TV, the best of live TV, and get thousands of top shows and movies on demand.
They call it Free Boot Fridays. They do this before every home game here in Greenville, North Carolina for ECU. It was a lot of fun last night.
Great time. A bunch of food trucks. They had a Krispy Kreme tent. I think I saw you sneaking a donut.
No,
you said you didn't, but
I did not.
I lost you for about 5 minutes, and I saw maybe a little glaze on your
They
cheek
had
there.
free donuts. I called you over, and you didn't want one. Timmy likes them. Tim McDermott, our booth coordinator.
Tim probably had 2 or 3 donuts. He's a donut connoisseur, so I know he knew where the Krispy Kreme tent was.
Mike Houston spoke last night as well, head coach for ECU, kind of pumping up the crowd as they get ready for homecoming here today. They didn't really need to get pumped up because Tyler Snead, that guy took the opening kickoff 100 yards for a touchdown.
Let's see if they kick it to him again here.
Shorter kick, and Snead has it. He's at the, he muffs it, picks it back up at the 14-yard line. And this time he gets tripped up at the 25. Eugene Bowman's there on special teams for USF. It'll be our first opportunity to see ECU on offense now. And it is the quarterback, Holton Ahlers, the sophomore. Started as a true freshman. Where is he at in his progress right now?
You know, he came in a lot last year. He's a bigger kid, 240 pounds as a running type. He's having accuracy issues this year, only about 54% completion ratio. The coaches want him to get that up, but I'd like to see him run the ball a little more. He gets into a flow when he starts running it.
Demetrius Mooney is the running back, and he is ripped down on the spot by Kirk Livingstone. You had just brought up the fact about the run game. How about ECU with more rushing yards or rush attempts than pass attempts this year? That's not like a Pirate team.
No, and that's Mike Houston, right? He's more of an old school coach. You want to win up front. You want to establish the run. Donnie Kirkpatrick is offensive coordinator. And so, you know, you're used to seeing, if you're an ECU fan, the ball flying around, 1,000-yard receivers everywhere, quarterbacks throwing the ball down the field, and they'll take their shot, but they're going to be a run-first team. Now,
yeah, that might come in time, but not right away.
And the conundrum that Donnie Kirkpatrick has as an offensive coordinator is he would love to run Holton Ahlers more. They have no depth at quarterback. So you can't risk really getting him hurt. So it's an interesting issue here, how he plays him today.
That's a nice word right there that you used.
I read the dictionary once in a while.
Good vocabulary. Third down here for ECU after the run by Mooney. Ahlers up top, and it's caught at the 39. It is a completion for the first by Blake Prohl. Excellent job to reach up and haul that one in.
Well, he looks like his dad there, but I'm going to tell you where the advantage that Blake Prohl has over his dad, Ricky Prohl, who played a long time in the NFL. He's about 3 or 4 inches taller than Dad, has a longer reach, and it helped right there as he goes up, high points it, and gets that foot down to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, what a catch. 2 Super Bowl rings for his dad, Ricky, with the Colts and the Rams back in the day. And now back to the ground game to Demetrius Mooney. And not much, no gain actually on a first down play.
And talking about depth, not much at running back for ECU either. Mooney, a true freshman that they're high on, but again, kid was playing high school football last year at this time, and they have Trace Christian that gets in there as well. Just not a lot of depth at the running back position.
Pass to the outside, and USF ready for it, man. What a play as Tyler Snead made the catch when Mike Hampton was right on the spot. He's going to lose 3 yards on that reception.
Yeah. And Mike Hampton's one of the best defensive backs in the American Athletic Conference. And this is just reading the play, recognizing and reacting to it. Watch him fly to the football and then make that tackle in space. Exactly what you want to do and play that as a corner.
Looks like they're trying to set up kind of a pseudo screen and it got blown up. Now it's a 3rd down and long. What happens here for the Pirates? Ahlers from the gun when they spread him out with 5 wide. Ahlers rolling right, the left-hander tucks it, and he fumbles it out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down. ECU will certainly have to punt. Good coverage downfield.
Excellent coverage.
The ball was fumbled forward and out of bounds by rule. The ball was placed at the fumble spot. It is 4th down.
Yeah, so they'll move it back a yard, but you know, good job by USF defensively. And if you're East Carolina, Mike Houston, punting's not a bad thing. Punt this thing away, go cover it, and get your defense back out there and see if you can stop South Florida.
John Young punts it to KJ Sales, who calls for the fair catch. And USF will take over when we come back from their own 20-yard line. Tied at 7 here between the Bulls and the Pirates. Back in a moment. We'll be watching tonight Notre Dame and Michigan at the Big House, 7:30 Eastern on ABC and on the app. Harbaugh and company, boy, 1-10 versus top 10 teams while at Michigan. They've lost 8 straight, and Notre Dame seems to take advantage of when they take on a ranked team under Brian Kelly.
Well, Harbaugh's going to get another shot tonight, right, with a top 10 team?
First meeting back in 1887. How crazy is that? Notre Dame won last year's matchup. And we'll look forward to catching that tonight at 7:30 on ABC. USF with a carry down to Trayvon Sands.
I love those old school photos, though. Joe Montana?
Yeah.
Big Joe Montana fan when I was a kid. Desmond Howard? Good stuff
cool.
there.
Yep.
Great rivalry.
Yeah, for each team. Big game, too, for Michigan. What happens if they lose that, right? 3 losses. What's going to happen out there? Sands stays in the backfield. Second down, play fake, pressure, look out, McLeod trying to spin away and dumps it off. Able to get the ball to Sands and avoid a sack, but only got a couple of yards out of it, albeit they're still behind the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him for trying to make a play, but what I would tell a young quarterback is just be careful. Sometimes it's better to eat the ball and take the sack, and you're trying to throw it forward, and he does complete it, but boy, that ball could fumble. You don't want to make a catastrophic error there, but he's a young kid, he's trying to make a play.
It's tough when you're in the pocket like that.
Sometimes better just to eat it.
3rd and 13. And the Pirate fans making some noise here on homecoming. 2 for 2 so far today. McLeod. And it's well overthrown, looking for Mitchell Wilcox.
A good rush up front by East Carolina. You know, they're not very big in that defensive line, but they are fast. They will get after you in a hurry. And that time they put some pressure on young Jordan McLeod. Quick 3 and out. Good job.
Make defensive coordinator Bob Trott happy about that one. You know, as their defense finally steps up.
Yeah,
kind of wins that line of scrimmage a little bit.
Both coordinators, Bob Trott and Donnie Kirkpatrick, came with Mike Houston from JMU. They had a lot of success there at the FCS level.
Trent Schneider on the kick, and Tyler Snead backpedaling inside of his own 30-yard line. What does he do here on the punt return? Yeah, pretty good field position, 40-yard line. That's where ECU is going to start when we come back. Still tied at 7 here, just under 5 to go in the first quarter.
ESPN celebrating 150 years of college football.
Tune in on Tuesday at 8 o'clock at ESPN for College Football 150, the American game, the rivalries, the passion, the intensity that fuels these matchups. And on Thursday, the greatest rivalry games. Can't wait to watch that. 7 o'clock on ESPN. They're doing such a great job with CFB 150, and that's coming up this week. Our officials are looking at a potential targeting on the punt return by Tyler Snead. You're saying that you thought he got...
Well, no, I just knew he took a big hit. Now, remember, you can never dip your head and use the crown of your helmet. And that's going to be targeting. You just can't do it. And I say it every week when we see these targeting calls. That rule is as much to protect the tackler as it is the ball carrier. And to me, that's a clear-cut targeting, and he will be gone from the game in 15 yards.
And that's going to be on Daquan Evans, a true freshman defensive back who was in on special teams out of Orlando, Florida. And I agree with you, Rainey. That's targeting right there. I would think that this is going to be the call. Charles Lamartina will let us know.
Replay has to confirm it, otherwise they pull it off.
After further review, personal foul targeting has been assessed to number 10 of USF, the punt coverage team. 15-yard penalty will be added to the dead ball spot. Number 10 has been disqualified from the remainder of the game.
Yep, so that's it for Daquan Evans.
And they have double numbers, 2 number 10s if you're confused, because Joyner, the running back, is also number 10. It was not him. My man Mike Corey on it.
Well, and I think that's a guy that they want to try to get some games into as a freshman. Or that,
you just can't put that head down. Right? We talk about it every week. You can't use the crown of that helmet. That's a good call by replay to get that.
Absolutely. They were all over it. Our replay official, Paul Zukas, today with Alex Vaughn. And our referee, Charles Lamartina. Great job by all those guys to pick that up and to get it right. 1st and 10 for ECU from the 45 now. Ehlers. And on the sideline, the catch is made on a knee by Snead. And he's just shy of the 1st down. Let's go back to the targeting rating, and it seems to come up every single week. Right?
It does, and I know people don't like the rule, but it is helping the game. It just is. And the biggest thing you got to remember is you can never use the crown of the helmet. Doesn't matter if it's a defenseless player or not. You got to see what you hit. You got to get old school, get that head across the bow.
Mooney on the carry, and it's a 1st down for ECU to the 30-yard line of the Bulls.
And now if you're East Carolina, right, you got to take advantage of that great field position starting at midfield. And, they've had an issue up front as well, and this big offensive line needs to start getting some push so they can establish a running game. And we talked about Mooney, the young running back.
Catch is made now by Blake Prohl, and it's a 1st down for the Pirates. It's a nice route.
Well, and that's a good, accurate pass by Holton Ehlers on that slant route to Blake Prohl. On time, in rhythm.
14-yard pickup. Pirates are moving here. Mooney trying to stretch it out and finally corralled after a gain of about 3. Mooney, the true freshman out of Forest City, North Carolina. 2nd highest yards by an ECU freshman throughout the first 7 games of his career. Chris Johnson back in 2014, the only one that had more. And he's learning the game here for ECU. 2nd down and 8. I'll go right back to him. And he loses the football. It's on the turf. Let's see if the Pirates got back on it. Instead, USF, of course, saying they have it. Patrick Macon was the one that stripped it. 55 for USF, and they're running out of the pile with the football. Tyrone Barber on the bottom of the pile. 93 for USF. His helmet's off, and well, who else came out with it here now? That's Devin Studstill.
Yeah, but you're right. Macon stripped him. The middle linebacker, 55, Patrick Macon, the grad transfer from Oklahoma State, does a nice job of getting to Mooney, make the tackle, and then just takes the ball right away from him. Gets to the ground, and then there's the mad pile down there. In Studstill, number 8, is going to come away with it.
Well, and this is what South Florida does, right? The 11th fumble recovery this season. How about their numbers?
And Mike, 19th takeaway of the season. They're 2nd in the nation in takeaways. It's unbelievable.
And they forced a turnover in every single game this year, and we're in game number 8. So here we go. They're back on offense and breaking through right up the middle. Look out. To midfield, Cronkright, and a flag comes in at the end. Got a lot of flags already in this ball game here, still in the 1st quarter. 39-yard run by Jordan Cronkright on the sudden change after the fumble recovery. And here's this call.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense, number 17. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. 1st down.
That's called on Warren Saba.
Boy, and what a change of fortunes, right? You got a good drive going, your ECU. You turn the ball over, and then right back, Cronkite with a big run. And then you get the horse collar on top of it, give another 15. And just like that, field position switched, and USF's in good shape here.
Kelly Joyner Jr. now lines up in the backfield for USF. Fresh set of downs from the Pirate 35.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And that stalls them a little bit. I mean, this could end up being a 14-point swing you know, if you think about it, I mean, these are some of the areas in the game that you come back to later. I know everybody always likes to look at the end, like you missed a field goal or one play. This is a potential 14-point swing. They're going in for a touchdown.
And the defense, as you said, has been getting the takeaways all season long. The offense has lacked those explosion plays. Well, they got the big play by Kronk right there, the penalty that now they have to pay off with a touchdown.
Joyner spinning around and trying to break free, and a good job to get those penalty yardage back, +1. Bivens and Turner combined for the stop for ECU.
And you can just see Joyner keeping those feet moving, and they said he's electric. He's the type of guy that he goes into a pile, you lose him, but if he comes out the other side, he's gone.
Well, they're doing a good job of trying to get him involved early, like they told us yesterday. He only had 24 carries coming into the game, 4 receptions as well throughout his first 6 games of the season. McLeod fires, caught, and it's Randall St. Felix, and he is right at the first down marker. It depends on the spot. It is enough from the 25, first down.
And St. Felix is a good-looking receiver. He's a redshirt sophomore out of Miami, Florida, 6'2", 211, good size. He's one where the coaches challenged him this week, said, you need to step up and start making plays. You're too good of a player.
Every receiver needed to step up, according to them. 7 first downs by the Bulls here to start in this first quarter. And Cronkright picks up about 4. Coming up on a minute to go in this first quarter. Kind of an action-packed first quarter here. The opening kickoff for a touchdown by ECU. 100 yards by Snead. Opening drive on offense, USF took 75 yards down the field, capped by a Cronkright touchdown. And now it's 2nd down and 6. McLeod over the middle. He's got a wide open Jacob Mathis to tight end. Touchdown. 21-yard strike, and USF takes the lead.
That's the old pop pass, right? When he used to play Pop Warner football, he just released the tight end. The linebacker, 37, Xavier Smith, is on the tight end, Mathis. He's just going to release down the seam. There's no safety in the middle of the field. Great job by McLeod. Little play fake. Get it to your big tight end. And a quick score from the Bulls.
And that comes off the Mooney fumble for ECU. And to the point that we just made, it could have been a potential 14-point swing as ECU was going in for points, and instead USF gets the points, 14-7 Bulls.
It's one thing to get takeaways on defense. It's another thing to get that takeaway and then offense come out there and convert it to points. They converted to a touchdown there. And he talked about, you know, Mitchell Wilcox, but Jacob Mathis is a pretty good tight end as well.
That's his 10th reception of the year. And he's a guy that averages over 19 yards a catch. And that one went for 21 for the touchdown.
And, you know, talking to the coaches and Kerwin Bell, the offensive coordinator, you could kind of sense he felt he had a matchup, winning matchups with that tight end position. Thought like they'd go to their tight ends a bunch today.
Well, I'm sure Wilcox is getting a lot of attention. So that's what could free up a guy like, you know, Mathis out there as well. And Charlie Strong's group has a 7-point lead with just 47 seconds to play in the first quarter. And Snead will not have a chance at this return for ECU. Fans, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. And we say thank you to Allstate. What do you have here for ECU as they come back on offense?
They got to sustain a drive, right? Got to get some first downs. They were good. They took advantage of that field position. Just had the fumble by the young back Mooney. You just got to hold on to it. But I like what they're doing. The mixing, the run and the pass, the quick slants. Ehlers looks good thus far.
Fake to Mooney, pass over the middle. It's caught. DeAndre Ferrier, he has it. First down, ECU. It's a gain of 11, maybe 12. First quarter winding down. Trying to get everybody set. Mooney comes off the field, and Tay Williams, redshirt freshman, comes in for the first time today in the backfield. It's a little flip out to him, and he is undercut and taken down by KJ Sales. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter.
That's a great job by the corner. He takes the block on and makes the tackle as well.
End of one. 14-7 Bulls.
We got a good one in Greenville. A lot of great reactions. Back and forth game, evenly matched. USF leads it after one, 14-7.
You're watching ESPN College Football presented by Sling TV as part of Auto Trader Tailgate Week. As we're in Greenville, North Carolina today. Homecoming for the Pirates of ECU, trailing USF 14-7. Start of the second quarter. It is now second down for ECU from their own 34. Bolton Ahlers, sophomore quarterback from the shotgun. To the left side, and it's well overthrown and incomplete. Looking for Tyler Snead. Third down here. Obviously not the situation they need to be in with a young team.
Well, and Holton Ahlers has to do better. They blitzed him. He saw it. He had time. He tried to throw the deep out. Instead, he had a little hot route with Ferrier underneath, a stop route. Put it on him, pick up 5 or 6 yards, and get it to a manageable third down.
First incompletion, though, thrown by Ahlers today. 5 of 6. Third and 13. This one is caught. It's C.J. Johnson. Gets across the 40. Still on his feet. He's got to get to the 47, and he does. And he's all the way in USF territory. What an extra effort by C.J. Johnson, the true freshman for the Pirates.
And that'll drive defensive coordinator of USF, Brian Jean-Marie, crazy. You got the right defense called. They throw it underneath. You got to make those tackles. But C.J. Johnson, a true freshman, 6'2", 230, has some power and strength to break those tackles and keep this drive alive. He's a special player.
4 missed tackles on that play by the Bulls defenders, and it's a first down and 10 for ECU. And a couple yards now to Mooney.
And talking to Brian Jean-Marie, the defensive coordinator for USF yesterday, what did he tell us? They're just not making plays on defense. They're missing tackles. They're taking bad angles. He goes, they're in the positions. Eventually, you just need to step up and make plays. And really, that goes for both sides of the football.
Yeah, and he says they got to stop the big-time plays, too. And I know we're not just talking always about the 30, 40-yard plays. That's a big play right there that goes for 18 yards when it was 3rd and 13. And keeps this drive alive. Pressure as Ahlers fires it out, and the hot read is Zach Bird, who makes the catch. And he's out of bounds, about 4 yards shy of another Pirate first down.
Ahlers showing his arm strength there, throwing it across field.
Good job to recognize where that pressure's coming from, too, and find that open guy.
And Ahlers still a young quarterback as well. Only a sophomore.
Well, you got to have the parts around you, too. You know, when everybody else is young and just still trying to learn it themselves, too.
That's a new system, right? New coaching staff, new system, new everything.
It's really like his first full year, even though he started as a true freshman last year. Tries to go up top for Snead. Just overthrown. Was defended on the play by Bentley Sanders for USF.
I like the play call. Try to take the shot. It's a good throw where either your receiver Snead gets to it or it goes incomplete.
4th down and 4 from the 41-yard line. I guess the area of the field where they thought, well, we're going to go for it anyway, so we'll take a shot, or are they going to punt it here? No, they're going to punt. It's John Young. Sorry, he's back there to kick. Try to pin him deep. KJ Sales, let's go over his head. Wisely into the end zone as he lets it go. And the Bulls will start from the 20 when we come back. 14-7, USF leads it. 10th minute of all time here between the Pirates and the Bulls. ECU has only beaten USF once.
Yeah, they've dominated this series. Has USF Marlon Mack doing some work.
This was ECU's only win in the series back in 2014. But they got them 28-17.
Oh, by the way, ECU was in Conference USA back then. USF was in the Big East.
Right. A lot has changed since then. Direct snap here to Jaquez Evans. He's in a quarterback for USF, and he takes it into ECU territory inside the 30-yard line. And we were told that he was going to line up at quarterback today, and a little bit of a change-up to get some more action on the field. They certainly got him on that play.
Kerwin Bell told us, too, not just Wildcat. He's a high school quarterback that can throw the ball, so he'll play straight quarterback as well. But boy, Wildcat called run, and you see the explosiveness from the true freshman, Jacquez Evans, right there.
Evans stays in from the shotgun with Trayvon Sands to his left. Explosive play there to get things going for the Bulls. Evans, and now he's taken down from behind. Nice job. Aaron Ramseur on the tackle for ECU. All right, so what about Evans here, Rini? True freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia. You said a quarterback in high school, kind of the number 3 QB, but they were going to put him in, and they did.
Well, yeah, there was no hesitation when we talked to offensive coordinator Kerwin Bell. He said he is playing. I got a bunch of packages for him. He is getting in there. There was no hesitation. And again, he'll throw the ball as well, so just don't think when he comes in it's going to be run.
Right, and the backup quarterback is listed as Kirk Rigel, number 17, a sophomore. But now we're back to the starter, Jordan McLeod. And McLeod throws it over the head of his intended receiver, Eddie McDoom. Got a couple of miscommunications so far in the routes between the receiver and the quarterback here.
And good coverage there. Jaquan McMillan, 21 for East Carolina, another true freshman. And catch the theme in this game, right? A lot of true freshmen, a lot of redshirt freshmen playing, a lot of young players.
They're in field goal range, USF. They've got a strong leg at a Spencer Schrader, a true freshman. If they do not pick it up here, maybe it's 4-down territory. We'll see. 3rd down and 9. McLeod standing strong, and now he'll take off, and he's got the 1st down to the 10-yard line. There's a flag down back at the 30-yard line. Hang on. Charlie Strong does not look happy.
Holding, offense number 64. 10-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
That's too bad for them. That's the 2nd time, 2 on Harris.
Yeah, 2 on Harris. And Charlie Strong is not happy. He is letting the officials know. He did not like that call whatsoever. And again, Jordan McLeod, his quarterback, making plays with his feet. What he has to do, obviously healthy this week, feels good, but that's a backbreaker there. The young man makes the 1st down, makes the play, and it's all for naught with the holding call.
Probably that felt that maybe wasn't involved in the play or make or break the play, but still they called it. And USF is backed up now to 3rd down and 19 instead of a 1st and goal from the 10. McLeod with time, good protection. Still, as he throws, was he over the line of scrimmage? Yes, he was. It was right there at the marker. You could see it, and out come the flags.
Yeah, it's an illegal forward pass. He was clearly across the line. Remember, by rule, you have to, your entire body has to be across the line. If anything's back behind the line of scrimmage, you have not deemed to cross it. But from the view we got from here, he looked totally across the line. Flag gets dropped, and that's going to make Charlie Strong even more mad.
And there's another flag down by the 16-yard line as well. So we've had flags at the line of scrimmage. I mean, the line of scrimmage was the 36, and he threw it about the 34. So that was clearly over the line. So we saw the flags there. Then there's another one down at the 16-yard line. This crew's been busy here in this 1st half thus far. A lot of questions to be asked, too. Looking at the ECU sideline, want to decline it. Let's take a look. Here we go.
Illegal forward pass, offense number 12. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Also loss of down, makes it 4th down. There is no foul for offensive pass interference because the pass was illegal.
There you go. So that's probably what that was all the way down to the 16-yard line.
It was. They called offensive pass interference, but let's take a look at the line of scrimmage. It's really the 36. You see the line judge standing right at it, and Jordan McLeod, that's field awareness. He just has to know that, pull back, and then try to throw it clearly across. Easy call for the official, about 2 yards past it.
So on comes the Australian, Trent Schneider, junior, who's been spectacular this year for USF, trying to pin ECU deep. Snead, fair catch, lets it bounce. And to the end zone it goes. So we'll be back. 10:42 to play in this 1st half. Bulls still leading by 7.
ESPN College Football Brought to you by Auto Trader, the only one with Kelley Blue Book. Finally, it's easy.
It's always a great scene here at ECU in Greenville, North Carolina. They do tailgating right here as well, don't they?
I think it's one of the most underrated places in the country for college football. I really do. They love their tailgating, love their Pirates. Are thirsty for some wins, right? The last couple of years, not what they have come to expect, and I think Mike Houston's got them going on the right direction.
ECU on offense. How about the defense, though, for USF early on?
And that has been the story of USF this season, how dominant this defense has been. They just haven't been able to stay consistent on offense. But, boy, today, lights out, takeaways, tackles for losses, taking on blocks. Exactly what you want. And Brian Jean-Marie, the defensive coordinator right there, is a happy man thus far.
Play fake to Christian. Ayler's in trouble, and right on cue, Reedy, they keep it going. Nick Roberts on the sack for USF.
And you see the aggressiveness, right? Nick Roberts, number 2, a little safety blitz as he walks up. No one's there, and Ayler's can't get away from him.
Third leading tackler on the team, and it's his first sack of the season. And how about what they've done this year? As ECU's not going to get much here. We'll get back to that number in a moment as Aylers is taken down. I mean, you can't gloss over the fact that I know they've struggled a little bit and they're 3-4 in the season, but how about these defensive numbers, really? Second in the nation in takeaways. They already got one today. And tackles for loss.
Tackles for loss is phenomenal, and the red zone defense has been great. So defense really has done their part for USF this season. I think got to get that offense going and get some of those playmakers to make some plays on the outside. That's what they've been lacking this year.
Third down, Aylers. Ball is tipped, and is it intercepted? They're going to say yes, it's Nick Roberts. He's got it. He gets the sack, and now he has the interception before that ball hit the ground, and USF does it again.
Well, and it all came from the pressure once again up front. This ball definitely got tipped, or Ayler's arm got hit because it fluttered out of there. Nick Roberts broke on it. Let's see if he gets those hands underneath.
Previous play of an interception is under further review.
You know, what replay will look to see if Roberts got his hands underneath there. You know, first glance, to me, it looks like the ball may have hit his chest. The hands were kind of separated, and the ground helped him secure the ball. But again, you know, what's the key word, Mike? Replay's looking for indisputable video evidence. The call on the field was an interception. And I've been wrong all year, so I'm going to let replay do their job, and the folks at home, you can make your own decision.
It would be USF's 20th takeaway if it stands. Now that ball hits the ground.
That last look there, I think to me definitively, the ground helped him secure it,
right.
And it's an incomplete pass.
If you have possession of the ball first and then the ball touches the ground,
that's
but
fine.
You maintain possession,
correct.
That's okay.
As long as
but it can't hit first before you have possession.
As long as that ground doesn't help you control it there, I think clearly the ground helped him control that ball, and replay should reverse this, and rightfully so.
I thought at first glance, I was surprised that it was, ruled an interception. I mean, it was close play. I mean, these guys are all over it, but it's going to be fourth down for ECU.
We look at it in super slow-mo, right? Yeah. So does replay, and the referees do a phenomenal job, and it's a bang-bang play.
But going back to USF's defense, I mean, they got the red. You talk about red zone defense. They got a red zone takeaway. Remember, Mooney fumbled.
After further review, the ball hit the ground, and therefore there is no interception. It will be fourth down and 18 from the 12-yard line. The clock is correct, and we'll start on the snap.
So they had the fumble recovery earlier. They almost had an interception here. However, they're going to force them into a punting situation deep in their own territory.
And right now the story is East Carolina does not have an answer for the USF pressure.
Right.
They're sending blitzes. They're getting to them with the defensive linemen, and they're just winning up front right now defensively.
John Young will punt a couple yards deep in his own end zone. KJ Sales back at his own 44 for USF. Sales makes the first man miss, bumps off another one. Now he's got some space. Picks up a block, and Sales is ripped down at the ECU 36-yard line.
phenomenal job by KJ Sales. I was watching him. He actually, he does a nice job to see where he can make the catch. Knows he's going to probably get hit, makes the catch anyway, and a nice return. Great field position for the Bulls when we return.
USF and ECU. It is a 14-7 lead for the Bulls, and they have their best starting field position of the day here from the ECU 35-yard line. And not much is happening here. Wow, good job by the defense for the Pirates.
Hey, Ramseur, the linebacker there, nice job and a little aggressiveness. And I'm sure defense coordinator Bob Trott got at them a little bit. Said, you got to get off the ball. You got to get to the backfield. And there's a nice TFL for Ramseur.
2nd down and 12. Kronk right to the right of McLeod from the gun here. McLeod's pass is caught on a slant by Randall St. Felix, and it's a 1st down.
You know what I really like about Jordan McLeod there is just his patience. He waited for the outside linebacker, number 30, Stringer, to clear. Once he cleared, St. Felix came across on the slant. He puts it on him for the 1st down.
Seen it a couple times today.
You know, a lot of times young quarterbacks rush that. It'll get picked off by that linebacker, or at least defended by the linebacker.
1st down, Kronk right to the outside. Good solid run. We talked to him yesterday. Guy that came from Florida, a transfer, now a senior. And back-to-back 100-yard games. He's had 5 total on the season. I mean, pretty good running back here for this group.
Timeout for injured player.
There's an injured player down for ECU.
Timeout on the field.
And we'll be right back. It's Daniel Charles. Clemson's going to try to keep the streak going. They've won 22 straight, the longest active in FBS, 2nd longest in the ACC. They host BC tonight, 7:30 Eastern on the ACC network. Also streaming live at the ESPN app.
A lot of people worried about Trevor Lawrence, huh? 8 interceptions this year, the most in the ACC. Maybe sophomore slump, I don't know. Still undefeated.
Yeah,
Still
it's coming.
winning.
I know. Coming your way tonight. USF, 2nd down. McLeod to the end zone. Up in the air. It's Randall St. Felix hauling it in for the touchdown. What a grab.
Well, I think the talk Charlie Strong had with his wide receiving
Timeout for
group
injured player.
worked. And this is the young man that they needed to play well. And I'm going to let you read my notes, what I said the coaches said he needed to do.
Needed to step up.
And he's stepping up big time. Goes up, high points it, makes the catch, survives the ground. And those are the plays they expect out of Randall St. Felix.
And that's a play, Rainey, where it doesn't matter who you're playing, okay? Just to be able to go up and do that, that's making a play.
When McLeod released the ball, I thought it was too high. I thought he overthrew it. I said, oh, it's going to go out of the back. But, boy, St. Felix, 6'2", goes up. Great hands, makes the catch. It's a big score for the Bulls.
Well, and on the other side for ECU, it's not good because Daniel Charles, as we said before we went to timeout, he did come off the field. He was getting worked on the sideline, and now we've got Aaron Ramseur, who is down. And as we take a look at, he got hit low and not good there. That was by Cronkright, who tried to undercut him.
Well, that's a legal block. I mean, that's a cut block as a former running back. That's what you do. You know, you're going to cut a linebacker like that. Now, the good thing was you saw the legs come out for Ramseur. Nothing got caught underneath, which is a great sign, really. But, you know, that's a legal and a good block by Jordan Cronkright.
Junior linebacker, gingerly coming off the field. And Charles was out earlier. He's their 2nd leading tackle with a strong safety, 27. So a couple guys going down here, and then USF gets a touchdown, so it's going to be a 2-touchdown game. Still 7:46 to play, 1st half. And the kick by Spencer Schrader is through to make it 21-7 USF midway through this 2nd quarter. What a grab by St. Felix.
And we're going to take a look at St. Felix here in the slot. Again, big-bodied receiver, 6'2", 215 pounds. And the linebacker's going to step up. There's no safety in the middle of the field. St. Felix just runs a skinny post. And again, McLeod puts it up high to clear all those linebackers. And his big receiver goes up and makes the catch.
Great work by them. What about on the other side now for ECU, Rainey? They had an opening 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, but since then they've had 21 plays at 67 yards. More importantly, 7 rushes for 8 total yards.
You're reading my mind. Absolutely no running game whatsoever. They're getting beat at the point of attack by the defensive front of USF, so they're just going to have to try to get a little imagination going, but you got to get some running game. See if you can get whole nailers into the running game. But yeah, that offense, to say it's been non-existent is probably an understatement.
Tyler Snead, who's standing at the goal line for ECU, is the one who has accounted for their points today with a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to start the game. Now he comes up to the 10-yard line, and we'll see what he does here. Across the 20, out to the outside. He's going to run out of room, 30-yard line. Still valiant effort. As we take a look at this week's rankings, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. And our top 10, boy, Oklahoma. What happened today?
Yeah, they were in my, top 6, and man, that's what happens, right? It's college football. Why we love college football. Kansas State, boy, Chris Kleiman in his first year at Kansas State doing some good work, and Penn State leading.
Yeah, start thinking about bumping up Penn State a little bit there, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Penn State was in there as well. I think, Florida's kind of the beneficiary, right? Sitting behind, they're off this week.
Speed sweep on the outside. Good job by Josiah Hatfield for ECU. How about your picks? What do you got?
Yeah, and so this isn't my prediction what I think is going to happen at the end of the year. This is what I see right now. I have LSU the best, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and then Penn State, Florida. I bumped Florida in there because Oklahoma lost, so move them out. Notre Dame's right in there as well. Georgia could get back in. A lot of things are going to happen here as we get into November.
Handoff for ECU. And that's Christian. He gets hit out of bounds. It's going to be a first down. LSU's up 7-3 right now, to go back to your point there. And I just think a lot of things end up happening, right? As you get into November, things just kind of play out,
you get
for the
injuries,
finals.
You get, a lot of stuff happens. This is the greatest month of college football, November. Get the rivalry games going.
First and 10 ECU from the 45 of USF. Ehlers pass is dropped by C.J. Johnson. Devin Studstill had a big hand in why that was the case. He came in there, kind of popped it out.
Yeah, he takes the big hit. The pass was good, delivered on time. You just love the receiver to hold on to this, but you can't blame him. As Studstill, who's the vocal leader of that defense, comes up and makes the hit, separates the ball from the receiver.
Punch that one out. Ehlers hit as he throws. Same thing, but it's caught this time by Johnson. And he's still on his feet. It's another great grab. Studstill this time makes the tackle, but C.J. Johnson got the better half of him this time.
And I love the fact that Holton Ehlers goes right back to the young receiver, C.J. Johnson. And you see his strength, man. The yards after the catch, boy, I thought he was kind of interfered with. He got hit early, holds on, makes the catch, and just kind of drags Studstill for more yards.
Time out on the field.
And the crowd is booing because they're unhappy that there's an injured player down for USF. It's going to stop play. It's Mike Hampton, the junior cornerback, as they attend to him after that amazing grab by C.J. Johnson. Boy, they said about him coming into this game, about having some great hands, body control. And he's a guy that is from Greenville, right here in the area, and he came in the summer. And he hasn't even been here all that long. As Hampton, with the shoe off, goes out off the field.
Shoe came off. He's walking off fine. You heard the boo bugs there. But yeah, they're big on C.J. Johnson, and you see the physique he has already. It's crazy to think he was in high school last year at this
Let's
time.
not forget about this. C.J. Johnson went to the same high school as Holton Ehlers, the quarterback. Now, they were a year apart, but they've got that connection, and they've got it going so far here in this first half. Ehlers now tries to flip it out here to Josiah Hatfield, and he's taken down for a loss. That didn't go too well. Let's go back to that play with Hampton. He actually did lose his shoe for USF.
Lost his shoe. Big play by C.J. Johnson. Hampton loses his shoe on the break. Lost the shoe at the 32, Mike.
Second down and 14. Ehlers pass is intercepted. Greg Reeves. He's got a chance to take it to the house, and he's going to be hit. Still on his feet. It's going to be Ehlers that has to finally bring him down. Greg Reeves with the interception. He's been a takeaway machine for this USF defense. You can add a pick to his list. Forced fumbles, sacks, fumble recoveries has been amazing.
And Reeves is that hybrid defensive end linebacker type. He drops back into coverage. Ehlers doesn't see him. Reeves picks it off, and the big man rumbles down the left sideline. And as you said, another takeaway by this USF defense. And that's just a defensive call. I think confused Holton Ehlers as Reeves dropped back into coverage there and made that interception.
Bulls defense today, 5 tackles for losses, a fumble recovery, an interception, a sack. Jaquez Evans back at quarterback here now for USF, and he will pick up about 3 yards. And could this really turn into another full swing here as ECU is trying to get some points to the board, and now it's USF's chance.
And ECU had a nice drive going, right? We had some outside plays, got into space, got their big receiver, C.J. Johnson, involved, and then, boy, turnovers are killer.
Evans from the shotgun, and on the pass, it's caught. Wilcox with the catch. That's Mitchell Wilcox, who we talked about at the start of this broadcast. Mel Kiper's got him rated as his 6th best tight end here in college football.
And not only that, Jaquez Evans shows us I'll throw the ball as well. I'm not just a wildcat quarterback, and again, we knew he would throw it.
As you talked about it, there's those two in the combination working pretty well right now. They're going to keep Evans in at quarterback, a 3rd down. It's a keeper. He's got the first. He's off to the races. Evans, touchdown, USF. 34 yards by the true freshman.
Timeout for injured player.
And all their big runs, Mike, have been to the left side of that offensive line. They talked highly about those 3 sophomores over there. Donovan Jennings, Demetrius Harris, Brad Cecil, the center. And that's where that zone read went to. Evans hits it, and you see how spectacular he is in the open field. And USF's getting those big plays, those chunk plays, those explosive plays that the offense has really been missing.
Well, and you mentioned Cecil. That is the injured player who is down right now for USF. That's the starting center, so that's not good. Well, let's go back to the touchdown here first by Evans.
Yeah, good job by Evans. Puts it in the belly, and then you immediately see it. Marcus Norman, 77, the senior right tackle. He pulls, gets a nice block, and just you get Evans in space, and that's what you do. You get athletes with the ball in space. That's what they wanted to do, and he shows you how electric he is.
I mean, geez, I think they found a really good option there. Quarterback, I mean, not to say the McLeod, but I mean, you put in Evans, and you've got his throwing ability, his running ability, and you've got some pretty good options now with those guys.
Yeah, so you got McLeod, a redshirt freshman. You got Evans, true freshman.
Right. Saw Cecil coming off. We'll try to see if he returns when they get back on offense. That could be a huge blow. Here's the extra point. It is good. 28-7 now as USF has opened things up in this game with 3:51 to go. Kick off your Week 8 NFL Sunday tomorrow on ESPN, the ESPN app at 10 a.m. Eastern. Randy Moss sits down with Tom Brady this week. Don't miss that. Plus, he'll rank this week's best college football catches, and you got Moss. And then how Bruce Lee turned Christian McCaffrey into an MVP contender. Don't want to miss that. Catch it all tomorrow. Sunday NFL Countdown at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
So we talked about the takeaways, right? How great the USF defense is playing today. But give that offense credit. They turned those 2 takeaways into 14 points, and that's exactly what you want to do. That's great team football. Defense gets the offense the ball back, and then you turn it into points. 14 for the Bulls.
After the opening kickoff return for a touchdown by that man, Tyler Snead, it is now 28-7 USF. well in command here today in Greenville, North Carolina. Coming up at the half, Kevin Connors, Emmanuel Acho, and Jim Moore in the studio, standing by to get you caught up on this week in college football and all that's happening. The Sooners being stunned today. That's an understatement for sure. The Buckeyes continuing to keep their role, and a bunch of highlights of action so far in the earlier games here today. All coming up at the half. Stay tuned for that. Kevin, Emmanuel, and Jim in the studio.
Forget the big U game today, Mike. UConn and UMass. Big rivalry.
I'm sure they'll be talking about it. How about in the group of 5 here, if you will, in the top 25? There's been some outstanding teams this season. SMU really, I think, has stepped up and surprised a lot of teams. And App State 21, we have them next week. Looking forward to going to Boone. Absolutely. Tay Williams on the catch. And there was a flag down as Ehlers was under heavy pressure yet again. Here's the call.
Holding, offense number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Yeah, to your point,
correction. The penalty is declined. It is second down.
They just can't block the defense for USF. Go ahead.
Yeah, the fascinating thing about the group of 5 is if the American Conference, if they kind of beat each other up down the road, right? App State's ranked ahead of Boise State, who lost to BYU. Boise, I don't think is going to lose. I think they're running the table in the Sun Belt. I mean, I'm sorry, App State. I think App State's going to run the table in the Sun Belt. Can Appalachian State and the Sun Belt slide in the New Year's Six bowl game? I think that's fascinating to watch in the group of 5 as we get into November.
Could be very possible for sure. Second down and 12, and Ehlers taking down the 20-yard line. Jason Vaughn, USF. As I got you on this one, and it's going to be 3rd and long here for ECU. Yeah, Appalachian State with an easy 30-3 win today versus Georgia Southern. Or no, excuse me, versus South Alabama. Georgia Southern is who they play on Thursday. And we'll be there for that one on Halloween night right here on ESPNU. Second down and 5. Or second down, or 2 for 5, excuse me, on 3rd down as it's a 3rd and long, and that's not going to be nearly enough, but they need C.J. Johnson on the catch. He's going to be thrown back from the 31-yard line.
Well, he still didn't go down, though. He's a tough one to tackle.
USF takes their second charge time out of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
All right, so what happened this week here, part of the news out of the American?
So UConn left the American. They will be playing an independent schedule. Mike Oresco and the American Athletic Conference petitioned the NCAA to have 11 teams next year, just one league, no more East and West, and they could still hold a championship game. They were given that waiver. As you see, it's a 2-year waiver, so the American will go 11 teams next year. And we talked to Mike Oresco, who was here earlier today, and he's excited. The parity in his league, you know, UCF got a lot of national recognition last year, and rightfully so, but boy, a lot of other teams stepping up, and this conference, I think, is finally getting the recognition nationally that it deserves.
Agreed. I mean, you think about it, after we get this kick here from ECU, fair catch called for by the Bulls. 7 teams, you know, ranked or receiving votes. I mean, you think about Cincinnati, UCF, Temple, SMU, Navy, Memphis, Tulane. All those teams are a combined 39-9. That's almost an 80% winning percentage right now by more than half the league.
Yeah, and we do American Conference almost every week, so we see these teams week in and week out, and a lot of great talent comes from this league.
You got Navy leading the nation in rushing. Malcolm Perry, their quarterback, boy, he's been great. He's 5th in the country in rushing, leading all quarterbacks across the country. Here's some more news and notes. Cincinnati, they have been amazing. They've actually won 18 of the last 21 games.
And you see ESPN Analytics still has them favored to win the conference, but I tell you, if you're an SMU fan down there in Dallas, they look pretty good.
Well, they really do. And this team for USF is looking pretty good here today as Jordan McLeod now takes off and gets into ECU territory.
Yeah, they're just winning the game at the point of attack is USF on both sides of the football. And we talked to Mike Houston about this. He wants to build his team up. You need to win build your team from the inside out, and they're just not there yet.
McLeod's pass, Will Cox on a catch, first down, and he is so tough to bring down. 6'4", 245.
Watch the stiff arm from the big tight end. Mitchell Wilcox makes the catch, and then, you know, don't let them hit you. There's no rule that says as an offensive player you can't bowl him over, as the big tight end does.
ECU takes their first charge time out of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Well, USF, I mean, this first half couldn't have gone any better for them, right? 28 unanswered points. They've got a timeout remaining. They got the ball in ECU territory. They can run this clock down.
And they have East Carolina on their heels right now. There's no doubt about it. The only touchdown they gave up was electric, you know, the kickoff return to open the game. But ever since that play, USF's kind of dominated this game.
And I think we were talking about this kind of earlier before we came on the air, the fact that, you know, Mike Houston here in his first year as head coach is a great fit for him. And, you know, coming from JMU where they're so dominant for years, he knows he's got a lot of things in place that can make this a really tough team, but it's going to take some time.
I did the game in 2017 when he brought his JMU team in here and beat East Carolina. It wasn't even close. And he dominated at the line of scrimmage with both defense and offensive lines. And that's what he wants to, you know, happen with East Carolina. It's just going to take him some time.
McLeod hit as he throws, and a back shoulder and almost brought in by Wilcox. There's a flag down at the 36. McLeod took a big shot.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 26. 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's Colby Gore. Gets called for the hold and keeps moving the ball down the field for USF.
First down and 10 now for USF. And McLeod on the keeper. And out of bounds after a gain of 3. Clock's going to stop with 1:48 to go. Now, a little while ago, Brad Cecil, the starting center, went out, right? 74, the sophomore. He's been replaced by Michael Wiggs, number 52, the junior. He is the backup center out of Lakewood, Florida.
Yeah, you got to be ready to go. Get in there.
And we also just had McLeod go out. So a quarterback getting looked at. Number 12, Jordan McLeod. So he's banged up. But they have played Jaquez Evans, the true freshman today, number 14. So he's right back into the mix. And of course, they haven't missed a beat. Evans. He fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by William Atterbury, the right guard. So USF keeps it. A lot of things happening here in these last couple plays.
Let's take a look at how McLeod got injured here on the sideline as he takes the hit. Gets out of bounds. It just looks like that ankle got twisted up. You know, you got a defender, and you're dragging him, and he's pulling on the ankle. A little smart a little bit.
Yeah, pulling on his right leg. Then it looked like his left one got caught underneath. Third down and 10. Evans at QB. 3 of 4 today are the Bulls. Evans takes off. And he's going to have it. Good extra effort there after taking some contact. First down, USF.
Well, when he got towards the end of the run, I don't think he realized where the first down marker was because he's kind of slowing down. And you're thinking to yourself, you need to go. And not a good sign for Jordan McLeod there.
No, he's being helped off right now for USF. And so we'll try to find out an update on his status at the half and report that when we start the second half. Now we're going to go to Kirk Rigel, who's in at quarterback, and we've gotten 3 deep at this position here today for USF. Rigel's pass, and that is caught. Stanley Clairvaux, that's his first reception of the season, and he has it down inside ECU's 11-yard line.
How about Rigel coming out of the bullpen, not warming up, throws it deep out. 1 for 1.
4th game of the year for Rigel. They're keeping us on our toes up here in the box today, but I think we're on it. And how about Clairvaux, number 4? It's his first catch of the campaign. Graduate student for Charlie Strong's group. And now they've got a 2nd down and 4 just outside the 10-yard line. Cronkright is the back. He goes out. The pass to the end zone is well overthrown by Rigel. 1 and a streaking Devontrae's Duke. And it's going to be 3rd and 4.
So it'll be interesting if they insert Evans back in or they stick with Rigel. Looks like they're going to stay with Rigel. More of that pocket passer.
All right, so it's 3rd and 4. 25 seconds to go, first half. They fake it to the wideout. It's Cronkright, and he's in for the touchdown. Jordan Cronkright again for USF. And the route is on.
And a great play call by Kerwin Bell. You're going to fake jet sweep. That holds the linebackers just a beat. Come back underneath the Cronkright, your big back, and he's just powering his way in downhill, running behind those pads. And boy, USF really did a nice job stepping on the gas pedal here at the end of this second quarter.
Cronkright was a guy that had an 80-yard game-winning touchdown run versus ECU last year to break their back in that win. And here today, he's found the end zone a couple of times. And has now made it 35-7. USF, which is 19 seconds to play first half.
And how about the fact that USF has used 3 quarterbacks, and it really seems like they haven't missed a beat. And they give Rigel credit coming in there. And how about this? ECU has been outscored in the first half the last 3 weeks. So today against UCF last week, Temple a few weeks ago, 87-23.
And this is kind of an eerie, similar situation for ECU that they had last week, right? Remember, they were getting beat up pretty bad in that first half of UCF.
Yeah, and before the half end, though, they got some momentum with a field goal. They went in with something at halftime. Right now, boy, no momentum whatsoever for the Pirates.
They've taken advantage of 2 ECU turnovers as well. They've turned those into touchdowns. They drove down the field very well. They've had a good mix of pass and run. Now a short kick picked up by an up man for ECU. And backing his way up to the 34-yard line is where they'll start, but there's only 14 seconds left.
And don't forget, USF starts with the ball in the second half as well.
Exactly right, as they kicked off, and that was the 100-yard kickoff return for the touchdown by ECU to begin the game, and that's all they've got.
So really the question will be is, you know, how bad is Jordan McLeod hurt? We knew coming into the game his shoulder was banged up, his wrist, his hand. Obviously that looked like a lower body injury. So we'll have to see if he can come out in the second half.
We will get an update for you and let you know at the start of the second half. Mooney on the carry for ECU. And taken down into USF territory at the 49-yard line. 6 seconds remain.
And Verity has a big leg, their field goal kicker, so.
Yeah, and they've got the timeout, so if they can get a quick play
ECU
here.
calls their second charge timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
He's hitting 57-yarders in warm-ups, and we've also been told that he's been able to hit close to a 59 or 60-yarder in practice. Of course, it's always different in the game, but we'll see.
Yeah, if they can get about another 7 or 8 yards, get a timeout or get out of bounds and keep a second on the clock or so, I think Mike Houston will give him a chance.
I'm just kind of joking, but it's always so funny when players get to cheat in practice. You know? It's like he's hitting a 72-yarder in practice.
A little different pressure in the game.
It's like, let's see what happens in the game. And it's whatever you're comfortable with even trying here at this point. But
Brian Jean-Marie doing an excellent job, and voice was a little hoarse yesterday when we talked to him. I think he was getting after his guys in practice.
Yeah, probably raising his voice a little bit this past week, but so they've actually changed up practice a little bit. That's going to help this team out, and it's certainly showing here today. They're going to keep it on the ground. That is Mooney, and he's undercut. But is there time on the clock? There's a second. Did they call timeout? Are we going to get a timeout here? Yes. So they're going to get a chance for a field goal.
ECU takes their third and final charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
They're going to try to get the same situation they had last week, and you got a field goal right at the end of the half.
And the crazy thing is, if you're USF, you almost wanted Mooney to run a little bit more. Maybe another 5 or 10 yards.
Requested a full timeout, and it is granted.
Let that second go off the clock and then make the tackle. And remember, the clock stops in college football after a first down. Let's see where he's down. Yeah. Clearly down. You're going to stop the clock, and there's a second left in this game, so they're going to get a chance for another 3 here to get some momentum. We talked about it. Get some momentum going in the locker room.
And this guy's one of the best. I mean, he's 6th best in ECU scoring history.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. USF sideline.
Wow.
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Imagine that. I need to see a flag out there.
Yeah, now Charlie Strong's
covered up.
Yeah, he's asking for an explanation. I don't think it was on Charlie Strong because he turned and looked at his bench. So it might have been an assistant coach or someone on that sideline, but he's getting his explanation right now.
I would honestly take a shot to the end zone. Seriously, right? I mean, I know you want to get points, but you're down by 28.
But again, right, some type of momentum, right?
Sure,
Anything, get some points, get something positive to talk about at halftime.
Yeah, this is the play. 33-yard attempt for Jake Verity, who's 5th active in FBS in field goals made per game. You saw the stat. Final play of the first half. Can he connect? And he most certainly does. So ECU, they score the first play of the game 15 seconds in with a 100-yard kickoff return for the touchdown, and they score the last play of the first half. But it's 35-10 USF. Kevin, Emmanuel, and Jim in the studio after the break.
Welcome back to Auto Trader Tailgate Week.
ESPN College Football continues, presented by Sling TV as part of Auto Trader Tailgate Week here at ECU in Greenville, North Carolina. It's homecoming today, but not a happy one so far for the Pirates. Down 35-10 as the second half comes your way in just a few moments. How about some of the first half stats? Mike Corey, Reedy, and Gully. It didn't look too pretty for ECU, huh?
Well, and you look at the rush yards for South Florida. That 248, they averaged over 11 yards a carry. Total yards, just pretty much domination. And then, you know, the 2 takeaways, the turnovers from East Carolina killed them.
And if you want to put another line on their points off turnovers, 14.
Yep.
Yeah, for USF. And adding insult to injury, the Bulls get the ball to start the second half as well. Now there's a lot happening though for USF, and we'll get to it as soon as we get the kickoff here. The quarterbacks, okay, we've seen 3 of them here today, and 2 of them have been banged up.
Yeah, and Jordan McLeod, the redshirt freshman, had that right ankle kind of twisted on. He is probable to questionable. He was out running in warm-ups. Had a look at him, so we'll have to see. And then Jaquez Evans, who came in, it was a spark plug. He took a shot to the head. He was getting evaluated, so he isn't going to be out. They're going to hold him out the rest of this game. And Kirk Rigel came in. He was the 3rd quarterback, and yes, he will start the second half.
And also another point, the center, Brad Cecil, who was injured in that first half, he has returned. So he is under center. And you got Kirk Rigel, as you said, the starting quarterback, and his pass is off the mark. This is a miscommunication with the wide receiver on the outside there. Randall saved Felix to not come back for the ball.
And you see those, you're going to see that miscommunication, right? You got a 3rd string quarterback, and there you see the starter, Jordan McLeod, out, helmet not on. So he doesn't look like he's anywhere close to coming back into this ball game. So this may be Kirk Rigel's show the rest of the way. We'll see.
Yeah, McLeod could return. However, Evans, I think, is out because he's being evaluated for a head injury. So right now, Rigel, 2nd and 10, and it's a handoff, and it's Trayvon Sands who will get across the 30-yard line and set up a 3rd down and short. So, you know, if you're ECU and you can get a stop here, first 3 downs of this second half, get the ball back, get a little momentum. That's what happened to them last week, and they were trailing big.
They got a 3-and-out right away last week against UCF. They need to do that here and then go down and score and then get some life back, and they'll be right back in this ball game.
I mean, Charlie Strong's team has certainly been through so much this season for the Bulls, and you know, the injuries and all the different things that have happened to this group. Just trying to sustain this big advantage. 3rd down. Rigel's pass incomplete again, off the mark, and the timing's been a little off here. They're going to go 3-and-out to start. Yeah,
timing was way off. Miscommunication, and that's not a good start for the Bulls, but a great start for the Pirates.
So Trent Snyder will punt, and Tyler Snead, and just 1 punt return in that first half, 13 yards. Did have the kickoff return for the touchdown, though, to start the game, a 100-yard return. That's how this one got started. ECU got a field goal at the end of the half with time winding down. And the ball comes to a rest at the 26-yard line. So how about some of the action from that first half there?
Well, we talked about the takeaways for USF this season, one of the best in the nation. But not only taking away, but then turning it into points. And they did it both times. After the takeaways, turned it into touchdowns. And it's exactly what you want to do. And it was just a great defensive effort. And then the offense, just that running game, really dominated at the line of scrimmage. That offensive line for USF controlling the line of scrimmage in an excellent first half for the USF Bulls.
Yeah, it was a tight end Mathis on the touchdown catch, and then Jaquez Evans with a touchdown run, but he is now out for the Bulls. This catch on the outside by Snead. Tyler Snead's been a bright spot, and he's only a redshirt freshman, a walk-on that earned a scholarship, but he's just such a tough guy. They say, he's a baller.
And that's where I think they need to go. They need to go to the perimeter. I think between the tackles, USF has done a nice job, and I think Donnie Kirkpatrick, if he gets a little creative in his play calling, try to get to the outside, there might be some room.
Demetrius Mooney on the carry, and not too much going on there, so it's going to be a third down now for ECU. Now, where are they at here? How about Holton Ahlers at quarterback? That's a tough first half.
And just no rhythm, right? He completed some passes, right? But I think every time they had a drive going, the 2 times they turned the ball over.
This is a big 3rd down and 3 here to start the second half for ECU from their own 33. Got to keep this drive going. 2 of 6 on 3rd down today. Ahlers over the middle at Snead. He has it. First down. And ripped down across the 45 to the 46 by Bentley Sanders. Brown wants a flag. They're not going to get one.
Yeah, you heard the crowd peak up. Now remember, you can't grab anywhere on the helmet, the ear hole or the back of the helmet, or that is considered a face mask as well. And he got away with one. That should have been a 15-yard penalty. That's the same as a face mask. You can't do that.
You called it, Rainey. And now it is Mooney, and he is shut down. No gain. Blake Green on the tackle for USF. What's difficult here is, it's a 4-possession ball game. You could go get touchdown 2 points.
But you got to get one
24,
first,
you're
right?
still down 1.
You just got to take your time. You got to get this one, and you got to get a rhythm going offensively.
Ahlers eludes pressure, and the catch is made by Blake Prohl. Good job. It's the yard shy of the first down.
And good patience that time by Holton Ahlers. He saw the blitz. He just stepped up ever so slightly in the pocket, didn't panic, and completed the pass. You like to see that out of your quarterback.
3rd and short. The back is Trace Christian, the sophomore. Pressure comes. Christian, first down run. The inside handoff.
Good power run from Christian out of Orlando, Florida. Played at Lake Brantley. Spoke with his parents this morning. They were working out in the gym with me. Mom Dee Dee, Dad Randolph. Excited to come up here, come to all the home games. They drive up 9 hours from Orlando.
You were up early there. Or was that after breakfast?
It was after breakfast.
Okay. That's a long drive, too. They come up here and check out Christian, who's in action now and stays in the backfield. Gets it again. And he's inside the 40-yard line. It's down to the 38. Good run. And
Trace is more of their power back, is Trace Christian. 6 foot, 217 pounds. Does a nice job squaring those shoulders. And a good little run there on first down.
They'll change it up now. Tay Williams comes in. Redshirt freshman. Ahlers options it out to him. He's taken down still a few yards shy of the first down by Dwayne Broyles Jr.
And I think they're in 4-down territory here, Mike. I know you always usually ask that question, but I think obviously
have to be.
Score of the game and where you're at. 2 downs here to pick it up.
Movement for USF. Flags fly. Free play. Incomplete. C.J. Johnson almost had it. Of course, you would have took that if he brought it in, but I think it's going to be a first down here anyhow as defensive end for USF is over the line.
Offside. Defense number 40. 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
Yeah, Jason Vaughn got a little bit of a jump.
It's smart play by Holton Ahlers. He knows it's offsides. He goes for the deep ball, and boy, C.J. Johnson almost brings it in. Mike Hampton, nice job ripping away. Those two have been battling today, but the young receiver can't bring it in.
So they got the first down on the penalty, and ECU is now 3 for 3 on 3rd down on this drive. Hatfield in motion. Ehlers. Open man, and did he step out of bounds? We'll see. His catch is made by Anthony Watley.
Well, and the
hat comes off.
The hat is off, which tells you the receiver went out of bounds. Now, was he forced out of bounds, or did he go out on his own? Because if he went out on his own, it's a penalty for illegal touching. We'll take a look at the top of the screen.
It's an incomplete pass. The receiver went out of bounds and never reestablished prior to catching the ball. It is second down.
And that's the right call. We had this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
Right back to the ground here. And Mooney, or check it, Trace Christian is back in, and he's inside the 30-yard line. Remember their running back situation this year. Darius Penix is hurt. He got hurt in game 2. Really good back for them. And then Hassan Howe went into the transfer portal, so he's leaving town. So
portal.
Yeah.
Reed Herring, the backup quarterback, in the portal as well. So
they've lost a few guys on the offense.
Thin in some areas.
Third down. Ehlers. Over the middle, it's Snead, wide open. First down, nice move. Still on his feet. Snead, and it's going to set up a 1st and goal inside the 5. Finally brought down by Nick Roberts. It's a gain of 24.
He's like a little lightning bug. Former walk-on, earned a scholarship from Raleigh just down the street. Couple hours, makes a little catch underneath, a little doot-doot. See ya. And it's 1st and goal. He did this last week as well. He just makes plays in space.
5 catches now for 49 yards today for him, and now it is Christian on the ground, and he is getting help from his teammates at the 1, trying to get pushed in. And they're going to rule him down at the 1-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal for ECU.
And the rhythm that the offense is running with this first possession, much better. The sense of urgency, the pace is up a little bit, and I think that's helped them.
Christian in the backfield. Ehlers wants to go. 2nd and goal from the 1. Christian, and hit behind the line, and he's not going to get there. Kirk Livingstone.
Well, and you just got to make plays. I mean, Kirk Livingstone, number 6 for USF, he just beats the offensive line. I mean, that's just a great play, an explosive play by the defensive end, 6'4", 275, making plays in there.
3rd and goal. Ehlers fakes to Christian, has a man, and it's off his head. It's incomplete. Anthony Watley, it should have been a touchdown. And he's upset, rightfully so.
Well, you had the play call. You had it great. You had the play action fake. You slide Watley, the tight end, into the corner of the end zone, and Ehlers puts it on him, and you got to catch the ball. And he knows that.
Snead comes back in. Mooney comes in now for Christian in the backfield. It is 4th and goal for ECU. Snead in the slot to the top of your screen. Option. Mooney stumbling, not going to get there. Loses 2 yards, and USF takes over.
And it's unfortunate because ECU had the right play call, just had the drop. They go for it on 4th down, run option. Mooney trips up a little bit, but the USF defense steps up big once again.
You're watching the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. Here at ECU, as USF just stopped the Pirates from inside the 1-yard line, and now they go to Jordan Cronkright trying to get some breathing room. Let's go back to the play that probably should have been a touchdown for ECU.
Yeah, Donnie Kirkpatrick had the right play call. You got a little play action fake. You got the tight end on the left side. You're going to slide him into the corner. The defender from USF actually gets beat, tries to grab him, misses him. Ehlers puts it on him, and you just drop it. And this, when things go bad, that's what happens. You don't make plays, and that drive went for naught.
Cronkright, 1st down for USF. Yeah, then they got shut down on the 4th down play where they tried to toss it out of the Mooney.
It was a 15-play drive, 71 yards, took over 6 minutes, and you get no points out of it. That's tough.
Cronkright is now over 100 yards again for USF. And that is 3 in a row for him over 100 yards rushing. He's had a good season. Back again. And this looks like a much different USF team here today, for sure.
Well, the big thing in talking to them and Kerwin Bell, he talked about the offensive line starting to play well, and Jordan Cronkite is the biggest recipient of that. And he's a tough runner. He's got good vision. He's patient behind his blocks, which I think not enough running backs, do a good job at that, but Cronkite does. And you get good push from a big offensive line, and a back like Cronkite does a nice job hitting it up in there. North and south, he's a one-cut type of guy.
Rigel, and his pass a little bit too high there for Mitchell Wilcox. Almost brought it in. And he's been a guy that we featured today as the 6th rated tight end here in college football, according to Mel Kiper. Leading USF in their history in receptions, yards, touchdowns. He's a good one.
And that's one, there's no safety in the middle of the field, so if you're Rigel, try to throw him open there more in the middle of the field. Maybe put a little air under it. Let your big tight end go get it.
3rd down and 4. Remember Jordan McLeod, the starting quarterback, at a right ankle injury. He's out. Jaquez Evans, the other quarterback, who had a head injury. He's out. And Rigel, the QB now, and a keeper, the 3rd down, and he is going to have it.
And not getting away from their game plan, right? Kerwin Bell, hey. Got 3rd quarterback, Rigel. We're going to run it. And he's fighting for extra yards and keeps drives alive.
So the sophomore Kirk Rigel has been at 2 different stops before here, junior college, and another one as well. He's a walk-on and really didn't have a lot of experience prior to coming here to USF. He's getting it now. Trayvon Sands, nothing happening there thanks to Alex Turner on the tackle for ECU.
And you can tell on the zone read there, just the mesh wasn't perfect between quarterback, running back, and that's what happens. You get a 3rd string quarterback in there, you got some backup running backs in there. Just not sure if the quarterback's going to pull it, going to leave it. The running back's always going to clamp down on it because he wants it.
2nd down after the loss, 1. Rigel. And the catch is made by Stanley Clairvaux, and he'll gain just a couple. 2nd catch of the day for him after coming in with no catches this season. Both teams trying to get to 4 and 4 here, with a real tough schedule for USF the rest of the way. And they got to get this one today if they want to have a chance.
Well, 2 weeks ago they had a great win against BYU. Then they ran into Navy last week, who was just playing phenomenal football. We saw them a few weeks ago as well. Coming on the road trying to get this one today, as you said, get their record to 4 and 4.
Saw Clairvaux going off there with an injury to his hand, it looks like. And now Rigel going down the sideline, and this catch is made by Randall St. Felix. He has had some great ones today, including a touchdown just like that.
Well, he's the one they wanted to see step up. Talked about it in the first half. Charlie Strong talked to those receivers, challenged them. And Randall St. Felix has been up to the challenge today as he goes up and just takes it away from the defender, Colby Gore.
That's a 30-yard reception by him, and it pushes the ball down to the 41-yard line of ECU. Cronkite. Nice job to find the hole. Look at the shifty moves. Cronkite goes to the sideline and really had one more guy to beat, but ran out of space.
How many guys you want him to beat, Mike? He beat about 5.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad. I said he's a one-cut-and-go guy because he showed some moves right there. I talked about his patience. You see him just kind of weaving his way in the backfield, and then this little move right here that's nifty right there as he gets to the outside.
Let's pick up at 19 yards. Now with 129 today. Look at he's averaging 10+ yards a carry. The 2 touchdowns. I give him a breather, and Trayvon Sands gained about 4.
Something about East Carolina, he said he's always run the ball well against them. Even when he was at Florida before he transferred to USF, he said he had a good game against them back then.
Well, it's been no secret that ECU has struggled when they've taken on USF, and have never beaten them here at home. They're 1-8 all time. Play fake to Sands. Rigel. Pressure. He's going to take off. He makes a nice little move to the outside, and he's going to set up USF for the 1st and goal of the 6.
Even Rydell, a little dipsy-do as he steps in on Xavier Smith. The linebacker gets it back outside.
This is saying a lot about the Bulls here. This drive started at the 4-yard line after they held ECU on 4 downs trying to get to the end zone, and now look where they are.
Well, you had the big catch from Randall St. Felix, but most of it's been on the ground.
This drive's taken up over 5.5 minutes as well. 30 rushes for over 300 yards today by the Bulls. 1st and goal from the 6. Rigel runs out of space and time, throws it away.
A smart play to throw it away. Charlie Strong almost called a timeout on that play. They were yelling at Rigel. You see him looking back like, yep, I'm getting yelled at right now. But he did a nice shot to throw it away. No disaster, right? Didn't try to force it in, but didn't have the right play call for the look, and coaches let him know it. Just saw Kerwin Bell there standing by Charlie Strong.
2nd down since. He's taken down. Kendall Futrell, we brought up in the open. Haven't quite said his name too much here today.
And we haven't said his name enough today, and that's been an issue for them defensively. But again, he's a speed rusher. You know, he's 230 pounds. He's going up against a big offensive line that averages about 320. So those big tackles can get on those speed rushers. You know, they can nullify what they do defensively.
Yeah, you see those numbers? Top 10 in the nation in sacks and tackles for loss. But you're right, he's hasn't been as present as I think they've wanted for sure. 3rd and goal for USF. And a timeout by the Bulls.
USF takes their first charge time out of the half. Timeout on the field.
We'll be back. 1:10 to go in the 3rd. USF 3rd and goal when we return.
ESPN Plus is your home for thousands of live events and exclusive originals. Sign up today at espnplus.com.
And how about one of the best shows exclusively on ESPN Plus? NFL Primetime, Sundays, 7:30 Eastern, only on ESPN Plus. Boomer and TJ, they're back. And it's awesome. Don't miss it. Get ESPN Plus. Download the app or go to espnplus.com.
TJ came off the IR. He's back.
Yes, yes. 3rd and goal for USF. Play fake. Rigel. Pressure. He is going to be taken down. Got hit initially. Kendall Futrell and Jose Haji Badri on the tackle.
Yeah, good coverage in the secondary. Forcing Rigel to tuck it.
That's one of the fun names in college football right there, 95. Jose Haji Badri.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah.
I'll just stick with Badri.
USF. 4th and goal. Going to go with a field goal attempt here. And the kick is good by Spencer Schrader. 24 yards out. And it's a 38-10 lead now for the Bulls. 37 seconds to go in the 3rd from Greenville, North Carolina. Week 8 Monday Night Football coming your way with the Dolphins and Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's played for half the teams in the NFL. Actually 8 to be exact, but the Steelers will host them Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. It all starts a Monday Night Countdown at 6 from Heinz Field.
That's a quarter of the teams.
Yeah, right? That's amazing. Here it's 38-10. USF and ECU. Homecoming today for the Pirates in Greenville, although many have exited to the tailgates. As Snead will return it from the 3-yard line. Taken down before the 10. Now let's get to today's mayhem moment, brought to you by Allstate. And this was something that actually happened before the game in warm-ups involving Mitchell Wilcox.
Mitchell, you're the 6th-ranked senior tight end of the nation. You got to see the net. He gets engulfed like a spider web.
Halloween is coming up.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it could be on Come On Man on Monday night, the Monday Night Countdown, and they had to help him, and he got tangled up there pretty good.
Look at him. He's like, what?
He's like, what's going on here?
Good stuff there, Mitchell.
That's great. Trace Christian on the carry for ECU.
Maybe he'll make Monday Night Conduct. Come on, man. Gotta see that net.
Today, Wilcox has been targeted only 4 times. Got 2 catches for USF. Didn't need him, though, as much as they're up by 28 points. Holton Ayler's pass is incomplete over the middle. Looking for DeAndre Ferrier.
And that's the problem. Now you go quick, right? You're trying to get a rhythm, and all of a sudden, 3rd and 8.
How about that last drive by USF? I mean, that pretty much ate up the entire 3rd quarter. You feel like 7-11 on that drive, capped by the field goal. Aylers with a 3rd and 8. Pretty good time in the pocket. This pass is incomplete. It would have been intercepted had the Bulls not run into each other. It was a combination that time of Patrick Macon and Devin Studstill.
Patrick Macon broke the play up because
that is the end of the 3rd quarter.
Safety would have had the interception.
Charlie Strong says, come on, guys. Could have had it. They're up by 28. 4th quarter after this. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV as part of Auto Trader Tailgate Week. And now appropriate here with the tailgaters from ECU on homecoming as we start the 4th quarter with a punt from the Pirates. And it's going to land at the USF 49-yard line. There was a flag down on the field as well. Charles Lamartina is our referee today.
Pretty busy today.
He has.
His crew doing a nice job, though. Wonder if they blocked one of the gunners out of bounds. You can't do that. Can't block him while he's out of bounds.
During the return, personal foul. Receiving team number 20 blocking a player out of bounds. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
You called it, partner.
Well, when you watch enough football, and seriously, you can almost tell by where the flag is thrown and by which official it's thrown by and the play what the penalty is going to be. So every once in a while, get it right.
Right on it.
And a lot of, it's incumbent upon special team coaches to make sure their players know that once a player goes out of bounds, you cannot contact him out of bounds. It's a 15-yard penalty, personal foul. Sometimes they don't communicate that to the players. Right. You got to let them go.
Yeah, he kept pushing him out.
On the same token, the gunner has to come immediately back in. If he stays out of bounds, it's a penalty on him.
And that was the call. So USF now backed up to their own 34. But of course, well in command here today, 38-10. It's Trayvon Sands on the carry. And I talked about this coming into the game. ECU hoping to go to 4-4 in their first year. Head coach Mike Houston, and they had a schedule coming up where they had 2 games they potentially could kind of grab. They were hoping to try to become bowl eligible. That was their goal. That Coach Houston said before the season started.
And and you always hear about changing the culture. What does that mean? It means getting to meetings early. And for ECU, kids need to learn to win. I mean, 3 straight years, 3-9, and so it's going to take time. First year, and USF's a hard one to figure out. And if we take a look at Kerwin Brown, interesting story. Charlie Strong brings him in as the offensive coordinator. Was the head coach at Valdosta State last year, Division II, won the national championship. You might recognize the name. Was a standout quarterback for the Florida Gators in the 80s and played a long time professionally.
1st and 10 for USF. Kirk Rigel, flag down, and the pass well overthrown.
There are fouls by each team on the play. Offside, defense, number 4. Holding, offense, number 89. The penalties will offset. Repeat, 1st down.
That's like it never happened.
That's right. We talked about Kerwin Bell, though, and the offensive coordinator for USF and what they've done. How about today? 321 rushing yards. That's a season high for these guys. Yeah. And when he talked to us yesterday, he said, we have to attack. We have to go after these guys, and they have today.
Yeah, and he said his wide receivers need to make plays. Quarterback needs to get rid of the ball. And he was happy with the line play. I talked about it. The younger players, the 3 sophomores on the left side, said they challenged the 2 seniors, 78 William Atterbury and 77 Marcus Norman. They challenged them. They have stepped up. And he said he's happy with his line play thus far. But very interesting hire, a good hire, I thought, for Charlie Strong. And it's going to work out.
When I think about all that he's had to go through and deal with this year, there just hasn't been the consistency. And now at the end of this game, well, you got questions with Jordan McLeod, your starting quarterback, who injured his right ankle. You got Jaquez Evans, who was that quarterback that had a head injury. Both of those guys are out. Now they're with Kirk Rigel, 17 at the QB position, who takes off and runs, and he's got a first down for the Bulls and has played pretty well here in this ballgame so far.
But I got a feeling, getting back to what you just talked about, Jordan McLeod, you saw him standing on the sideline. Good look on his face. I think they're keeping him out for, in just my opinion, precautionary reasons because of what the score is. I don't think there's a need to put him in the game. So let's put Rigel in. Let's get him some reps, right? Meaningful reps in real game speed. And so I think McLeod should be okay. He looked pretty good to me running on the sideline at halftime.
Joyner now on the carry. And he's hit inside the 40-yard line, setting up a 2nd and 5. Now they're flagged.
It looked like maybe a horse collar there, not a face mask. They'll talk about it, but looks like we got it.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Remember, horse collar, you just can't grab inside that neckline and make the tackle.
Foul's on number 38. 38.
Yeah, it's an easy call. It's obviously a player safety penalty.
Bruce Bivens tagged for it there. Kelly Joyner Jr. He's in at running back. Here is Rigel to the end zone. He's got a man. That is a touchdown grab by Terrence Horn, and he has it.
How about Rigel showing you his arm? He can spin it. Young man steps up in the pocket. Great vision. He sees Horn break open in the middle. He's going to zip it in here. Throw a little BB in here to Horn. And this USF offense, doesn't matter what quarterback's in there, they're humming.
Much different team here today, that's for sure. 24-yard touchdown reception from Terrence Horn Jr. That's his 2nd TD grab of the year. The extra point by Schrader is good.
Well, if you're a USF fan, you got to be happy the fact that your 3rd-string quarterback can step in and throw a BB like this. 6 plays, 66 yards. USF tacks on a little more. They lead it 45-10.
Back with college football here on ESPN, presented by Sling TV, part of Auto Trader Tailgate Week. 45-10. USF leads ECU with 11:57 to play in the contest. Mike Corey, Rini Ngolia with you. Haven't really seen this too much from USF this season, and they are on fire today.
Well, and they've been able to run the ball. I mean, that's an understatement. And when you can run the ball, it opens up the passing game. And then on the other side, East Carolina has not been able to do any type of running the ball conventionally with any power run, any zone run. And when you're one-dimensional and you can't run it, then you really can't do anything because a good defense will take you out of the game.
We'll head you back to a quick break and be back with ECU on offense when we return. Just under 12 minutes to go in the 4th.
ESPN College Football is presented by Sling TV, the best of live TV, and get thousands of top shows and movies on demand.
That's Steve Wetzel, Steve the Pirate, here at ECU. Not to be confused with Petey, the mascot pirate for...
Well, there's Petey right there.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
They're both hanging out. That's pregame today. And it's a 35-point lead, though, for USF. Really kind of spoiling the homecoming today for the Pirates as ECU does have it back on offense from the 25-yard line. What are you looking for to try to see from them here in the final 12 minutes? And if you're like one of the coaches,
well, you just don't want to see any quit, right? You want to play to the final whistle.
Aylers' pass, nice one, on time, finding C.J. Johnson. That's been a good combination.
Yeah, no, it has been, and as you said, went to the same high school, a few years apart, but C.J. Johnson's going to be a good one. He already is a good one.
4th catch of the day for 82 yards for C.J. Johnson. Now Aylers on the rollout, and Snead makes this catch. High into the air as he grabs it inside of the 35-yard line of USF. And here they go.
Well, you asked me what to look for. That right there, right? 2 completions. You're almost you're at 35. Big chunks.
5 wide. And off here for Josiah Hatfield on the sweep, and he's taken down after a gain of about 4. Let me ask you this: you're a fan watching, you're an ECU fan, and you see these 2 big plays in a row, and you say, "Well, where's this been all day?" I mean, what's happening? And has there been so much different on the defense, or do you think like?
No. I just think kind of, USF. You kind of get complacent. You're up big in this game. You're just kind of back. You're like, okay, let's just get this last 10 minutes off the clock, and then ECU, you're coming out with urgency. You're going to get graded. Your film's going to get graded on Monday. You don't want to quit, and you want to just, it's a pride thing. Keep going. You want to score a touchdown. I mean, think about it. The offense hasn't scored a touchdown today. Get the kickoff return and a field goal.
All right, and any second that you're on the field is valuable experience for a group that is under first-year head coach Mike Houston, and they want to start implementing things. They want to start seeing stuff. Everything is being graded, like you said.
For USF as well. I mean, Bellamy, 41, made a couple plays. He's a true freshman, so he's getting valuable time making plays out there as well.
Pirates 5 of 11 on 3rd down. Aylers airs this one out. Tough one there. Incomplete. Is there a flag? Yes. Maybe going to get bailed out here. Wanted C.J. Johnson again.
Yeah, and those two have been going at it all day, has C.J. Johnson and Mike Hampton. Hampton's kind of riding him with a hand.
Pass interference, defense number 7. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Usually I let them play. They're both kind of hand-checking each other. As I said, Hampton's one of the best in the conference. Got that left hand up there. Just a little bit of a grab. A little ticky-tacky, but I can understand what the official sees when he calls it.
I can see it, too. I mean, he was on him the whole way,
Correct.
And it's how much
Probably
is he grabbing.
Had it on him just a count too long. Yeah. If he would have got it off him, he would have been okay.
First down after the penalty. Tay Williams carries and gets close to the 10-yard line. You can't forget about the turnovers and how much that's hurt ECU today. They've had 2 turnovers that have turned into 2 touchdowns by USF, and they were drive killers.
And it was when ECU was driving the football. I mean, they had rhythm, they had momentum going. You turn it over, that ends that momentum and rhythm, and all of a sudden USF goes the other way and turns them into 2 touchdowns.
Aylers overthrown for Snead. Exactly. And you don't just look at it as you gave up 14 points. So you say, okay, instead of 45.
It changes the whole momentum of the game.
Right.
We talk about
it's
it all the
31.
time.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You would have scored 2. You didn't give up 2. It could be a drastically different ball game, really. It could be a 31-24 game, actually. I know that's being Monday morning quarterback, but
no, but I agree that we watch so much football. We see plays that happen in the second quarter, that really affect the outcome of the game.
Aylers and overthrown, trying to find Zach Bird. Aylers got hit hard. Flag is down. Aylers is down.
Yeah, if it was a late hit, or if he was, the defender was blocked into him. We'll see what the call is from Charles LaMartina.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 93. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, 1st down.
No doubt. Tyrone Barber got in there late at the end, right into his back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with the call. And Barber is a young player, a sophomore that's in there, so he's playing hard. And You know, you get close to that quarterback, you start smelling him, you think, I'm going to get a hit on him. Probably one step too many. Makes the hit and gets called for the foul.
Christian. Trace Christian. Stopped. It'll be second down and goal.
Just really haven't been able to get any push up front, trying to run between the tackles.
Red zone for USF. Haven't given up anything today. Side of the 20. Aylers flagged down. Back of the end zone. Catch is made. Touchdown, Jeremy Lewis. We'll see if it stands.
Holding, offense number 67. 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Yeah, big Deontay Smith, the left tackle. Flag comes out quickly from the center judge. And it's the right call. I mean, you know, it's tough. You're kind of drive blocking them, but when you get outside the frame and you got a little grab and the angle that center judge is looking, more times than not, he's going to call it, and he did right there.
Aylers trying to elude pressure. And will take off here. Inside the 10-yard line. Remember the last time they were down in this area of the field? They got stopped on downs at the 2-yard line. You know, they forget about that.
Well,
there's another flag.
They're going to call an unsportsmanlike conduct on Holton Aylers, but I think he was throwing the ball back to the official to mark it, and it hit the face of Bentley Sanders, number 20 for USF. So they might pick this up, because I don't think he did it intentionally. I think he was trying to throw it back to the ref, and it just hit him in the face on accident.
After the play is over, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 12.
Okay, maybe it wasn't an accident. I don't know.
Down counts. It is third down. That is number 12's first unsportsmanlike penalty of the game.
Aylers clearly threw the ball at him, but I'm telling you, to me it looked like he was tossing it to the referee. Right here, watch the line judge. He was trying to toss it to him, and Sanders got in the way. I really don't think he did it maliciously. I think he was trying to toss it to the line judge. But if you're an ECU fan, you say, well, that's our season right there.
I don't know about that one.
I mean, you mean to tell me you think Holton Aylers is taunting down 45 to 10?
Oh, yeah,
you agree with me.
The call.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I
think he's just tossing it back.
To throw the ball at his head.
Exactly.
Well, why would you do that?
Correct.
I agree with you, man. You got to kind of let that one go. The catch by C.J. Johnson. And this is, but you're right, this is indicative of what's happened to them. You got to think about this. I know it's a 35-point game, and people are saying, what are you talking about? They got stopped on downs at the 2-yard line. They were running in to score and fumbled. USF turned down the points. They threw an interception. USF turned down the points. And now this call is totally taking them out of a chance to get a touchdown. They're not going to get a touchdown now. I mean, look where you are. It's fourth down. You got a field goal. 39-yard attempt. Jake Verity. This almost gets blocked, and more flags come in.
And this is where it's getting sloppy now.
Imagine if they call this a false start.
Delay of game. Defense. Signals causing the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty remains fourth down.
Okay, so it was, but they call the defense initiated.
So if it confuses you at home, if the defense is yelling and barking signals that really don't make sense in an effort to confuse the offense, you're going to get called with a defensive delay of game, and that's what they called right there.
Not sure USF needs to really do anything to make it any more difficult at this point. Fourth down and goal. It's a field goal try. 34-yard attempt, Jake Verity. Such a strong leg, and it's up and it's good. 45-13. We'll be back. 7:10 to play in this one. Let's see who's slinging it today. Brought to you by Sling TV.
Well, Jordan McLeod came out slinging it for USF. Hits his big tight end Mathis for a touchdown. Then he hits St. Felix, goes up, climbs the ladder for a great catch, and then Rigel, the third-string quarterback, throws a BB in there to Terrence Horn. Didn't matter what USF quarterback was in there, they were slinging it.
They were slinging it. Brought to you by Sling TV, and it's 45-13. USF leading ECU. 7:10 to go in the contest. Look at the rush yards. 337 to 76.
Former running back thing. Makes me tingle a little bit.
I like what you've seen here today. Bentley Sanders taken down the 23-yard line. Bulls going to go to 4-4. You would imagine here. 7:02 to go. And it's a tough road ahead, too, for a team that struggled. You said it at the top of the broadcast. 17-2 under Charlie Strong, and then they went 3-10 in their last 13 games.
And it'll be 4-10 after today, but you know, still in line to try to, get a bowl game. It's a tough road to hoe, as you talked about, coming up after this game. But they needed to get this one today, and they came into town hungry, and they've played well.
Kirk Rigel is the quarterback. Pass is caught by Mathis. You just saw the earlier touchdown grab. This one's shy of the first down. Here's what they have coming up. So they certainly needed this one. They're going to go to 4-4. And then the next matchup we'll have for you on ESPN on Thursday night against Temple.
And that's an American Conference gauntlet right there. Temple, nationally ranked Cincinnati, Memphis, and UCF. You never know. They could sneak back into the rankings by the time that rivalry game happens. So, I mean, if you're a USF Bulls fan, you're thinking to yourself, we're kind of like Jekyll and Hyde, right? Because we beat BYU a few weeks ago, a great win, and then Navy came into town, or they went to Navy, I should say, and just kind of dismantled USF, and now they bounce back up, and they're going to get a big-time win today on the road. So, Jekyll and Hyde.
Could have had a win against Georgia Tech. They lost 14-10 in game 2 of the season, so that would have flipped it a little bit. And here's the thing. They're going to have almost 2 weeks to get ready for Temple at home on that Thursday night on ESPN. So the lights are on. It's national TV. The flagship's there. They got to be ready for that.
Temple's got a tough one tonight against UCF.
Kelly Joyner Jr. First down carry.
But you said it was imperative for USF to come here on the road and get this win today. To seeing what they have left, they needed to get this one, and a job well done.
Great teams in the American this year. That's McLeod on the sideline.
And again, I think he's going to be okay. I think they had such a lead in this game. There was no reason to put him back and risk him getting hurt at all.
Yeah, right ankle injury, but it's questionable. So you're right. He has been out since, and getting Kirk Rigel some good time with a blowout game here. Pitches it out. Joyner again. A couple yards now. How about the other games going on in the American? Navy with a 7-point lead against Tulane, but it's 1st and goal for Tulane at the Navy 1-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go in that contest.
Timeout for injured player.
Injured player for ECU. It's McMillan. Jaquan McMillan will step aside. I'll be right back.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
It's coming, and we've got a big one here tonight. Speaking of the playoff, what about Notre Dame and Michigan? One of these teams spark themselves for the rest of the season. Notre Dame's got just the 1 loss, and they've been pretty good against ranked opponents under Brian Kelly. Harbaugh, on the other hand, 1 of 10 versus top 10 teams.
Yeah, boy, hasn't been going well versus top 10 teams for Jim Harbaugh at Michigan.
Rigel's under pressure for USF, and it's tipped and incomplete.
Yeah, you just don't want to make any mistakes there and throw an interception.
First time it happened today, man. Right?
Well, fans are yelling at you at home right now.
That's pretty good.
That's like the worst faux pas you can have if you're an USF fan and you say those letters wrong of the rival school. Twitter them. Tweet them.
Snead back to return. Let's go over his head and into the end zone. We'll be right back. While we step aside, we had an illegal substitution for ECU, or make it USF with 4:31 to go.
And they'll repunt it. Of course, all the players on the sideline now. Let's get the red hat off the field. Let's get this going.
So the re-kick, 4th and 11 for USF, leading 45-13.
ECU has elected to add the 5-yard penalty to the dead ball spot. First down.
All right, so there you go. That makes it a little bit easier here. Okay? A lot of other games in the American in action right now. And we saw on Thursday night, SMU defeating Houston. That was a close matchup there. 34-31. Good job by SMU to remain undefeated on the season against a hungry Houston team at home. How about the Navy-Tulane game right now?
And Navy was up big in that game early as we were checking the scores. Tulane comes storming, and you know Tulane was my sleeper pick in the American this year. So that's a heck of a ball game right there.
Give them a ton of credit for coming back. UCF at Temple tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN2.
That should be a good one.
New quarterback of the game, it's Brian Gagg for ECU. First action this season. The true freshman out of Sarasota, Florida, and that's been tough because he hasn't got any play and he has no experience.
And there's no depth at quarterback. We talked about it. Reed Herring was here. He put himself in the transfer portal. Didn't even want to finish the season, so he's gone. And really on the depth chart, it's Holton Ahlers and Brian Gagg. Tough position to be in for this coaching staff.
Williams on the carry. He's shy of the first down, 3rd and short coming up as we are under 4 minutes to go in the game. It will take a little bit of time, but I suspect Mike Houston for ECU, the head coach, and his staff are going to really get this thing turned around and in a hurry, I believe, as well.
You got to start recruiting. This was a big day too. They had 15 recruits here, so Mike Houston told us so probably not the result he wanted to have, obviously, in front of those recruits. But it all starts with the recruiting, bringing the players in and then coaching them and developing them, excuse me. And Mike Houston has shown that he can do that wherever he goes.
Williams dropped for a loss. Yeah, and they're also really recruiting, from the East Coast, top to bottom. He said they got guys from Carolina, Virginia, Florida, Georgia, even Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
But he's old-fashioned. We've talked to him. He believes, kind of like what I do, you build your teams from the inside out, interior line play. You got to get good offensive line play and good defensive line play, and then you build from there. You can have all the skill players you want. If you can't block up front and you can't win the line of scrimmage, you're in trouble.
Sales muffs it. It's picked up by ECU. You can't advance it, but they're going to have the ball. Leroy Henley able to get it for ECU. And they're going to have it at the USF 27-yard line.
That bounce right in Henley's hands. He loved it.
But just covered by the kicking team. First down.
Advance him ECU. Good call by the officials, but good field position here. 2:39. And again, a young team, a new team for this coaching staff, and young quarterback. Let's see if he can put a little drive together and get some points here to end this game. And that's just KJ Sales kind of looking up, right?
Yeah.
Looking where the defenders are before securing the football.
Williams, a fake to him, the keeper by Gagg, and he's going to run inside of the 20-yard line. It's close to the first down. See if he has it. He does. He got it. An 11-yard pickup.
Gagg showing you a little athletic ability there on the keeper.
Now it's Williams. Getting close to the 10-yard line. And I think ECU is going to be able to look at some of this tape like we talked about with missed opportunities and turnovers that it really isn't a 32-point game if they converted on a couple of plays today.
Well, it's a great game for teachable and coachable moments when you break this film down. There's no doubt about that. Now, if you're USF,
look at this.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're USF on defense, you got a lot of young players there. Now it's a pride thing, too. You don't want to give up a touchdown. You haven't given up a touchdown yet today. A couple field goals. Special teams gave up the kickoff return.
Williams again. And that's the thing. 5 red zone opportunities, no touchdowns. It's not like they haven't had a chance at scoring. So I think you have to be optimistic with what ECU can do moving forward. But credit Brian Jean-Marie and his defense for USF today. Been a big part of that and why they haven't converted. Trace Christian held up at the 5-yard line, but it's good enough for the first down. Under a minute to go.
And you talked about it earlier about Charlie Strong changing up the practice schedule. They do their walkthroughs on Thursday now, and then Friday they go full speed. That's pretty interesting. It seems to work.
Coming up tonight, Sports Center from LA after Washington State, Oregon with Stan and Neil. We'll have the Astros Nationals Game 4 post-game coverage from D.C. 2-1. Nationals lead the series after falling last night, plus Notre Dame Michigan reactions. And our college football analyst Heather Dinich details how Oregon or Utah can make it to the college football playoffs. I'd like to hear about that.
Yeah.
Sports Center after Cougars Ducks tonight on ESPN, the ESPN app. Why don't you go around the FBS today? The biggest game was that upset.
Let's go right to the biggest thing today. And boy, Kansas State. And what can you say about Chris Kleiman? First year at Kansas State, came from North Dakota State. You know what kind of dominance he had there. And they were great against Oklahoma. And boy, what a win that is. And then LSU, that was a tight one. We're kind of paying attention to it up here in the booth. And they're looking to pull away a little bit from Auburn. And again, I have LSU, my #1 team in the nation.
Gag to the end zone, and this one is caught. It's Jeremy Lewis that has it for the touchdown for ECU. Nice catch.
And you're talking about things to build on. That's 2 young players, 2 true freshmen. Brian Gagg with a nice back shoulder fade. And then the true freshman Jeremy Lewis goes up. And he's a local kid right here from Greenville. As Lewis goes up, makes the catch, and a little excitement from Gagg, and rightfully so.
First career touchdown pass for Brian Gagg in his first game of his career as a freshman out of Sarasota, Florida. The extra point from Verity is good. And Jeremy Lewis also with his first career touchdown catch, another true freshman. So, I mean, that tells you right there. You got some young guys.
And you love the fight, right? You know, you're down big in this game, but you get your opportunities to play. Get out there, make plays, and you like to see the young players not giving up and getting that touchdown.
ECU have had a couple of games where, you know, they haven't been close, but then there's some they have, you know, and they're starting to improve. You know, this is the thing where you go through the season, right, Rainey? And Mike Houston wants to see this. Do we get better each week? You know, the competition, that's tough no matter who you play, but are they doing things to get better under his eyes? And the more experience you get, I think the better you get.
And he talked about it. He said, you know, if we had a 2:30 meeting, we'd have guys try to stroll into their seats at 2:30 and 1 second. He goes, no, we locked the doors. They were on the field running. He goes, now we've changed it where it's a 2:30 meeting. They're in their seats at 2:20. We're starting early. I mean, that's the type of mentality that he's trying to bring here. And it's a culture. It's a way you change things up. And you know, these kids have lost for 3 straight years. So you just gotta try to change things up, change the culture.
Verity's kickoff out of bounds. All right, so we thought here today, if, you know, for ECU, if they were able to win, they'd go to 4-4, right? That's not going to be the case, obviously. But look at their remaining schedule. I mean, you got a tough one there against Cincinnati at home next week, and then at SMU. That's obviously not easy the way they're playing this year. But then, at UConn, home against Tulsa, I mean, it was manageable to try to go 2-2 there, you felt like.
You're reading my mind. I think realistically, if you're an East Carolina fan, you think, okay, we got 4 left. Let's try to go 2-2. Let's go 500. Let's get some momentum going into next year. I mean, that's realistically, when you look at that schedule, that's what you're thinking, right? That would be good.
All right, but that's why they really needed this one today. And that's not going to happen. The other side for USF, they're going to go to 4-4. We showed you their schedule earlier. So, again, tough teams in this league this year. We really felt like there could be 7 teams that have a legitimate chance to win the American Athletic Conference title. And it should be a fun month of November as we get into it next weekend.
But good job by Charlie Strong. Got his team ready to play today after a big loss last week to Navy. They came in here defensively, boy. We talked about their takeaways. They get a couple big ones today. And then what can you say about running the ball? Owning the line of scrimmage, that push. The rushing yards were unbelievable. And when you do that, you're going to win.
They're going to take it 45-20, the final score here today. Go to 4-4 on the season. Big win on the road here and homecoming in Greenville, North Carolina. They had a bunch of different quarterbacks that they had to go in and out, but it didn't matter who was in there. They all played well. Jordan McLeod
looks pretty good right there, so I think we'll see him back in the lineup.
They dominated in all phases of this game. 45-20 the final, thanks to Sean Sullivan on stats, our brother Brian Corey, our spotter, Tim McDermott, our booth coordinator. For Rini and Golia, Mike Corey, thank you for watching so long from Greenville, North Carolina. The Bulls win it by 25. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone.